Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Yo, listen, this is the best wrestler alive, Platinum Max, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hey everybody, Eric Bischoff here, and you are listening to We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Nunzio, former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, and you're watching We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling podcast. Check them out, man.
Stay tuned, listen to the podcast. Best one, Donnie might teach you a thing or two.
We Are Wrestling. And if you don't listen to it, then it's one-on-one with The Undertaker.
Featuring your host, Best One Dog, Danny Hawkins, Ring Service, and Dan Eddy. We are wrestling.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the Best One Donnie here with...
What's going on? We are Wrestling Maniacs Worldwide. It has been 1/4 of the We Are Wrestling podcast. Yeah, you guys know that you guys got a really dope show for you ahead. But what's going on, Danny?
What's going on, everybody? Back for another week on the We Are Wrestling podcast. Man, appreciate you guys tuning in. We got some exciting stuff to go over today. Dan Eddy, what's going on, brother?
What's up, guys? Yeah, excited for the show too. Yeah, every day we have what is that noise?
I told right now, like, if you guys are hearing drilling in the background, I have contractors that are working on doors upstairs right now.
Dang,
That's
that's crazy.
Being vibrated at full.
So I do apologize to all the audio listeners out there that are
I
hearing.
thought you guys were hearing my part over my headphones. That's crazy.
Chainsaw Charlie's going crazy right now up
I was
there.
like, what did I eat? But no, that's going on, man.
But wish the circumstances were a lot better having all four of us here, because next week for the Survivor Series predictions, it was supposed to be us four. But before we do get into the unfortunate news, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac already and you're listening to this episode, wherever you get your podcast, please give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download this episode and give us a follow. But if you're not a Maniac already, over on the YouTube channel where you get the best pro wrestling content and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, we recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And of course, you already know the grind is real. Yeah. So we might as well rip the Band-Aid off. And Ben does have some unfortunate news that he does want to share with you guys, and we're going to let him take the floor here.
What's going on, guys? So, I mean, there's like no really easy way to say it, but I'm going to be heading out for a while. I don't know how long. I don't know what's going on, for the future, but I just want to let you guys know that I'm going through a very huge life change. I'm going through a very difficult time, and it's not just the podcast that I'm letting go right now, but I've also let my personal channel go for now. There's a lot of weird things happening. Did not have this in my 2025 bingo card, but shit happens. And, I'm at a point now where it's just rolling with the punches and just kind of letting the sea take me. I never thought I'd be one of these people already. Like, I didn't think that a podcast would ever have somebody relinquishing a title before the reign was even over. But
not how I want to win the belt.
That is how it's happening. Tomorrow I will be
okay, I'll
seeing
win
the
it then.
best one, and he'll be taking the belt back. So I am no longer your We Are Wrestling champion, and you will have a guaranteed new champion come Saturday on my birthday. So I don't know, obviously what the future holds. I don't know how long this thing is going to be, but I'll see you when I get back, whenever that is. And you guys are
and
gonna
one
have
thing,
a crazy fucking show in the future.
And one thing, too, also I want to address as well. As of right now, Rage will still be coming over for Survivor Series for the live watch along.
Yep.
So in case you guys are wondering, like, if he's coming back,
Yeah.
he's just going to be watching Survivor Series live with you guys. So he'll still be there interacting with you guys. But unfortunately, when it comes to the podcast and We Are Wrestling, Rage is going to be taking a little bit of a hiatus because sometimes there is more important things that you have to focus on than the content. And sometimes real life priorities come first. And it's unfortunate, but I already told Rage, and we've all have said this, like, when he comes back, the door is always going to be open because he's a huge part of We Are Wrestling. You are one of the many reasons why this podcast has been as successful as it's been. So
Appreciate it, bud.
Daddy, Dan, and myself will be holding down the fort while you're away. And
Team 3D, bro. Team 3D.
Team
You
3D.
got this. Team 3 fucking D. You got this.
And of course, we'll be holding down the fort while you're away. And when you come back, I think it's gonna be a lot better.
Yeah, and
Back
that's
is
what
better than the
You thought Dolph Ziggler had a pop? Wait until this motherfucker comes back.
it's gonna be a different animal, man. And like I said, this is, I guess, for the better. And I've been choosing to see it that way. You know, like it's shitty things happen. You know, but if there's one thing I learned from Rocky, even though I don't fucking like the movies, is that it's not about fucking how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get back up. So,
Oh yeah,
guys.
Exactly.
With that being said, I'm going to take my leave. It'll likely be for the rest of 2025, more than likely. But hopefully, I'll see you guys next year. I can give you a spoiler right now. I'm hoping that it's in time for the Rumble.
I'm hoping too, man. I'm hoping too.
I hope I get cleared for the Rumble. Yeah, guys, congratulations to whoever wins this. I'll obviously be watching very closely because I'm literally going to be there. But I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing time without me here. And I don't mean that like heinously. I hope that the shows are just as enjoyable. And yeah, that's all I got. But until next time, I'll see you guys down the road, all right? Be good.
You have a good rest of your night, Rage.
Bye,
Thank
Rage.
you for coming
guys.
on the
Love you
show
guys.
and addressing
love you too,
the
bud.
fans. And wow, that's a new layout. There we go. We're
like
back
that layout.
to our ways.
You
Yeah,
like
Major
it?
Wrestling Figure Podcast has been doing that.
Yeah,
Honestly, that's not bad.
it's not bad.
We'll try this out.
We're already changing things. Rage just left, guys. Come on.
Yep.
Not how I want to win the championship. Like, it is unfortunate news, but we've all been there. Like, Daddy, just this past summer, you had some things going on. You had to take a break from the pod. I know I got burnt out a couple times and I had to take a break. It happens. But you know what they always say? The show must go on.
I do want to say this because, like, you know, the way that Ben did say some things or whatever, it could, you know, trigger people's minds or whatever. Ben's not sick. There's like nothing like medical like going on or whatever. I'm not going to go into details. You know, that's him if he wants to say it, whatever. But there's just, you know, things in life, whatever, that need to be taken care of. Ben will 100% be back. It's just going to take a little bit.
Oh, 100%.
Donnie, new power of the poll. Who's going to be the bigger return at the Rumble, Rage or Jericho?
Oh, I think Rage. Rage got that landslide. Hit the brooms. It's a sweep.
Yeah, it's a sweep. Yeah,
But
it's gonna suck though. It'll be different, but we'll hold down the fort until he gets back. And yeah, we'll continue on.
absolutely 100%. We will be holding down the fort, and we hope that you guys still listen to the podcast. We hope you guys still watch. And obviously, we will keep you guys up to date with things going on with Rage. But obviously, if it's a couple weeks before the return, we'll be staying quiet just for the pop. But we will try to keep you guys updated as much as possible without going into further details because that's his business. And we're not going to put that out there for him. But Rage is not leaving We Are Wrestling. That's the first thing that needs to be said. He's just going to be taking a little bit of a break. And for now, we're pretty much going to be holding down the fort, us three. So expect longer episodes of the podcast every Wednesday, even though today it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also weird too.
It's different being on Thursday. It's
It is
just being
so
on Thursday,
weird.
you know.
It's like the middle of the week. You're like on that high peak of the week, and you have this podcast, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just going, okay, I'm exhausted. And then Wednesday, Wednesday, okay, all right, Thursday, Friday.
But speaking of as to why we're here on Thursday and we weren't here yesterday, Mr. Best One over here went to the 3-hour Dynamite and Collision last night in Boston. Donnie, should we get into your experience, man?
We
let the
will in
audience know
just
what was
a
going on.
moment. But there I am right there in the crowd live on TBS Wednesday. I made it on TV. I made it, guys.
I popped, bro, on my stream last night, I popped huge. I was like, it's Donnie.
I know that guy.
But before I do talk about this, I do want to show some love to the Maniacs here in the live chat. We got Destry. We got Alex Johnson. We got Nate Daniel. Seahawks suck. Rams whooped your ass. We got Crispy Crazy Cars. Love this channel and love the Best One Dottie's channel as well. The grind is indeed real. Thank you for all you do and all of your hard work. Thank you for being a part of the live episodes.
Shout out to you.
Excited for Full Gear, which there won't be a watch along for Full Gear. Might as well just.
Yeah. I was originally going to be doing a watch along on both my channel and the We Are Wrestling channel. Unfortunately, it's my daughter's 13th birthday. They had the schedule on the same fucking day. So I'm going to be spending time with the family, spending time with her.
And I'm going to be having I'm going to be having a non-wrestling weekend because I've been doing a lot of traveling, and then Survivor Series is next weekend. So I'm kind of giving myself a break.
After the go home show last night, there's really nothing that's noteworthy on Full Gear this year. So I'm okay with missing
I can't get AEW either, so I can't stream.
But we got some We Are Wrestling. We got some members here in the live chat. We got Angelo and Bradley. What is going on, guys? Josh Toy Show, saw him at big event, and Rage with a nice little message. Hard work pays off, dreams come true, bad times don't last, but the bad guys do. All right. Well, I might as well let you take the reins because I am getting a call from my contractor. So you guys could just talk.
All right, man. So Dan Eddy, man, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. So part of the reason why we did the podcast on Thursday too is because our schedules didn't line up. I've been working overtime every day almost this week. And past week, actually, I worked 10.5 hours just on Saturday. So, but other than that, dude, it's been kind of wild. Excited to talk some wrestling again. Been watching SmackDown, been watching Raw, and this John Cena retirement tour is starting to hit harder a little bit, knowing that we have 4 dates left, including Survivor Series.
We have 2.
He only has 2 appearances left.
He has Survivor Series and then Saturday night's main event. Monday was his last Raw and MSG.
Yeah, I knew that. And he was gonna show up on NXT too as a video package or something to pick the Gold Rush participants.
Yeah. So here's I don't know if anybody really knows what's going on for Saturday night's main event. So what's going on is John Cena has asked, I think he mentioned it even on one of his promos or whatever, can't remember which one.
Yeah.
But he wants the Saturday night's main event his final match. He doesn't want it to just be like a 2-hour, tribute to him. But he's all about, showing who's the up and comers, what next big superstar could you guys be seeing? So on Saturday night's main event, December 13th, it's going to be just a bunch of exhibition matches. It's going to be main roster talent versus the up and coming NXT talent, and that's a big stage because even people that don't follow pro wrestling now, like WWE, so many people are going to be tuning into that show just because it's the last time they'll ever get to see John Cena. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So doing something like that, there's a lot of main roster audiences that don't follow NXT. They don't know anybody on NXT. They don't watch the product. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's people that watch Monday Night Raw out of convenience, out of, 20 years ago, I remember this wrestling show was on, Monday nights. Let's throw that on while we eat dinner and then we'll fucking go to sleep or whatever. So the WWE caters to a lot of the casual fans. So just bringing more eyes to the NXT talent, the up and comers, the next big stars. I think that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and I'd have to look at the viewership specifically, but I think NXT is out of the 3 main shows the one that's viewed the least. I mean, especially now, because
It
SmackDown's been cooking
usually
lately.
averages anywhere between 600 to 700,000.
Okay, I feel like that's a little smaller than, say, a Raw or a SmackDown.
Raw usually averages anywhere between a 2.1 or,
Yeah.
I mean, SmackDown averages sometimes a 1.8, million.
Yeah, and so having that way the Saturday Night's Main Event scheduled like that, I think is a lot better idea than just paying tribute to John Cena for 2 hours, because we've been paying tribute to him for over 20 years now, and I think it's time. And well, actually, just not even 20 years, just this past year, even we've been saying John Cena, John Cena. I feel like John Cena and a few other words are like word of the year. I don't know if we can probably say them on the podcast, but political stuff and all that shit.
Yep.
But I feel like John Cena has had his year. Yes, his heel turn kind of sucked ass. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if anyone in the chat agreed or disagree, but it's bittersweet because now there's only 2 sites of him left, and who knows what he's gonna do next year, or even if he's gonna hang up the boots for good. Because Undertaker shows up every now and then. Like he showed up in WrestleMania 40 not too long ago, so who knows if he's gonna do anything like that. But this way with,
I had to tell Chainsaw Charlie to fuck off.
But also, like Undertaker, like he doesn't have the kind of schedule that Cena has. He doesn't do he's not a big Hollywood star now or whatever. And like Angelo, I do wanna answer your question. Whatever, NXT ain't gonna be in the millions for a while. It's not about this whole thing for December 13th. It's not about getting more viewership and more eyes on the NXT product in itself.
Exposure.
It's to expose people to talent that they might not know about. A Javon Evans, a Nova Femi, an Ethan Page, a lot of these people that are not on the main roster that, the casual fans don't know about. This is going to bring more eyes, and maybe somebody sees a Javon Evans, a Nova Femi. They're like, I may not like NXT, but I want to follow this guy. I want to see what this guy's going to do in his career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what this whole thing is going to be about.
I love John Cena, and that was 100% a John Cena call.
Yeah.
When it comes to having the NXT guys be showcased.
Absolutely. Kurt Angle
he came out and said that
he wants to give other people an opportunity.
He came out and said that it was Triple H's idea and he rejected it. So,
wow. But with that being said, now let's get into our weekly power of the poll. Every week, you can go to the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, go to our community tab. We give you guys 1 week to vote. There's no excuses. You had 8 days because the podcast is live on a Thursday, which we'll be going back to our regular programming this coming Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm already not liking this Thursday's thing.
Me either.
I deal with this new layout, though. It's kind of cool.
But this week, because we are trying to keep the John Cena theme for the remainder of the year, and we asked you guys which character of John Cena's was your favorite. And here are the results. And there it is, our results. And the winner of this is the Doctor of Thugonomics with 35% of you guys. Oh, wait, no, the winner is actually Chain Gain, 37%.
Wow.
While 35% of you guys picked Doctor of Thugonomics, 23% picked Super Cena, and 5% picked heel John Cena.
My thing about this isn't the Doctors of Thugonomics and the Chain Gang Cena, aren't they like the same?
Not really, no. Different. Yeah. There's a difference.
If there is, I don't know much.
Doctor of Thugonomics is before WWE champion Cena.
Yeah, Chain Gang was afterwards.
Doctor of Thugonomics, he was wearing the basketball jerseys, the football jerseys, the baseball jerseys. But Chain Gang, that's when John Cena became his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of our closest ever Power of the Polls.
I still occasionally see that Sunday Night Heat clip of John Cena battle rapping that kid before a pay-per-view or whatever.
Yeah. The Cena hater.
I occasionally come across that on TikTok and stuff.
So do we agree with this? Yes or no, and why?
I feel like his Doctor of Thugonomics character, I feel like it was kind of well received back then, but I feel like it's sort of, gotten a life of its own over, over the last 20 years. So I feel like I'm surprised it's not more popular. Like, I'm surprised they didn't get more votes. But Chain Gang, like, they're almost really like, I feel like they are kind of similar in a way, and like the fact
They are,
that
which I think is why it's so close.
the fact that
Yeah.
Chain Gang only won by 2%. I mean, that speaks volumes,
Honestly, I agree with the Maniacs on this one. Chain Gang John Cena, that was where my fandom was, like, as a pro wrestling fan. Like, the way kids that are a little bit older than we are looked at Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior, that's how I looked at John Cena. And it was during Chain Gang. Like, I remember vividly watching WrestleMania 21, hoping, praying that he beat JBL for that championship. Same with Batista beating Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. And man, I remember I felt like I won the Super Bowl when Cena won that WWE Championship.
Was
And then
that
I bought the album, bought all the shirts. Oh man, Chain Gang Cena was the GOAT.
that white kid that the clip I was talking about, was that Kenny Dykstra?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
He did a
Because
different
Angela's
battle
saying
rap
that
with Kenny.
Angela's saying the Kenny Dykstra rap.
He
battle
looks like
was
Kenny
something.
Dykstra.
Yeah, I was thinking because that was a couple years. That was a couple years before the Spirit Squad and all that, and like Kenny Dykstra, like So I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm okay with this, and I think even Super Cena got a fair enough votes as well, having like I think 22%. I thought this week the Maniacs did a good job. They did a good job.
I just feel like Cena's one of those.
I agree too. I just Cena. Yeah,
I agree too, but Cena's one of those guys that like it seems like Chain Gang and Dr. Thugonomics, they're almost the same character. Super Cena and his career up to this point, like they're all the same. They have like they're so similar personality wise and like character and gimmick wise. So I mean I agree. I'm just surprised that Dr. Thugonomics is not more popular.
Super Cena. But next week's Power of the Poll, we're actually going to be taking a break from John Cena because it is Survivor Series week, which we'll be having a whole marathon here on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel because we'll be doing our typical live Wednesday episode of the podcast, giving our Survivor Series predictions. Thursday, we'll be doing a We Are Wrestling podcast extra, covering some of the big news that happens during the week.
You going to be working on Thanksgiving, bro?
Wait a minute. That's Thanksgiving?
Next
next week's Thanksgiving, bro.
All right, well, scratch that. It's going to be happening on Tuesday instead. This is like November's crazy. I forgot about Thanksgiving. Wow. This content.
Yeah, I forgot Star Series was next weekend.
Grind is
when
real.
When I was messaging you in the chat earlier, I was like, "Oh shit, that's right. We're doing predictions next week too." Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe
I forgot what day it was.
About Thanksgiving. Wow.
Should we mention what we're going to be taking a break from this week since none of us had time to really like go over the
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
On it?
Yeah.
So this week, usually we do a getting put over segment. We're putting that on hold this week. It's just been a crazy week for all of us. So
Especially
we're going to be getting back
news.
in. It was supposed to be EC3 this week today, but we're going to put that on the back burner. Next week, we're going to be doing Survivor Series, and then the following week, we're going to be doing EC3. So there's no good getting put over today on the podcast.
Yeah, so do you guys still want to do the getting put over next week for Survivor Series 05? Are we good with that?
Yeah, that's fun.
Just because it's like the last podcast before Survivor Series, Survivor Series is this Saturday.
I think we were doing for at least the Big Five too.
Yeah, for like the Big Fives, like we
PLE
we pick like a year of the PLE and then like we
Plus,
put it
it'll
over.
give us an excuse to just sit back and just rewatch a classic show. So
exactly. That's exactly, Daddy, why I wanted to do the Survivor Series like getting put over.
I've actually never seen Survivor Series 2005. If I have, I've seen like maybe a match or two, but I don't think I've watched the whole thing. I have no recollection.
I haven't watched it in a while, so I can't wait to like find some time.
I gotta figure out where to watch it. Probably YouTube, right?
Yeah, I think YouTube. You could probably find it. If not,
either that or it might. I think no, I was gonna say it might. It might be on Peacock, but
maybe
I'm not sure.
Maybe DailyMotion.com or something.
Wow, I totally forgot about it. That's an old website right there. Damn.
We're going back to MySpace
times.
I found out about it during my research some weeks.
No lie. I went on Daily Motion a couple months ago, and they have all the seasons of LFG on there. They get
no
uploaded
shit.
they get uploaded that night, and you get to watch them on there.
Oh wow, that's good to know. Definitely for season 3.
Yeah.
But next week's Put Power of the Poll, we don't have a graphic, but the question is, what's the worst Survivor Series match out of these 4 matches? And your 4 options you have: Teddy Long versus Eric Bischoff, Survivor Series 05. Clowns Are Us versus Royal Family, 1994. Ronda versus Shotzi, 2022, which Rage and I were at that Survivor Series. And Team Total Divas versus Team WWE, 2013, which you guys have not a full week to vote. You got 6 days, so get on it. All right, now we can get into my little adventure over the weekend, because I was in Long Island, New York for big event. What a time. Oh, man. Stressful, but always a good time. And yeah, we have a couple vlogs here if you guys haven't checked these out yet. WWE fans, first indie show, Rod Money, MVP of the vlog. If you guys haven't checked that out, you can go right ahead. We also have TNA Bound for Glory pay-per-view vlog. If you guys haven't watched Bound for Glory, we got some pretty cool highlights in that video and some meet and greets as well. Douglas Hardy's one last time, me and Jungle Boy Jordan, Bound for Glory. And then let's get into big event here, because this Friday, tomorrow, the big event New York vlog will be up on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. And it's a good one. It's a really, really good one. But I might as well share some of the experience with the Maniacs here that are tuning in live. 45 people. We appreciate you guys. All of
Hell
you.
yeah.
And I do want to bring it up. Survivor Series 2005, it's on Peacock, so that's where people can watch it.
All right, word. So here it is. I got to meet, which I'm not going to show everybody I met because I want to save that for the big event vlog and give you a reason to follow me on Instagram at @BestOneDonnie. But I got to meet Taz, who did a rare meet and greet experience because he doesn't really come out much. So I got my hardcore title signed. Got a couple figures, a couple 8x10s. Taz was really cool. Very cool.
I had trouble recognizing him.
How could you not recognize Taz, man?
I haven't seen him like on public or like images of him for years.
He's in AEW.
Always good seeing you, Josh.
For a while,
I can't get AEW. I was just saying that a minute ago. That's why I'm not streaming it either.
Which, by the way, shout out to Taz, because he signed with one arm this entire time. Because right now he is recovering from, I think, a bicep injury, if I'm not mistaken. Then there's the Blueprint Matt Morgan, TNA legend. Very, very nice guy. Which
he left TNA to go into real estate, I believe.
Which I will say this, and I think you boys are going to be very happy, and I think we're going to be making this happen pretty soon. So I did talk to the Blueprint, and he wants to be on the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hell yeah.
Let's go, man.
That's exciting.
And he also said this to me. I hope you know I'm going to be holding you to it. Once you post a picture on social media, I'm going to be holding you to it. You're getting me on your podcast. And I said, oh, don't worry. We're going to get you on the podcast, the DNA of TNA.
Let's go, man. Matt
That's
Morgan.
super cool.
Look
at you pulling some strings, Donnie.
Oh, yeah,
look at
dude.
you.
Matt Morgan was very nice.
In 2026, man, we do want to branch out. We do want to do more things besides just like the We Are Wrestling podcast, whatever. We do want to start interviewing, pro wrestlers and bringing more people on to the show, and just giving you guys more entertainment. You guys support us, whether it's super chats, whether it's memberships or whatever. Like, we just want to bring you guys even more content, bring you the people that you guys want to hear from.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. I feel the same way.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. And we're going to definitely be doing a lot of behind the scenes talks as well for next year pretty soon. Now that we're kind of wrapping up the year, we're getting pretty close.
I know, man. This year's just flown by. I don't know.
It is flying. But also got to meet Chris Van Vliet. In my opinion, arguably the greatest wrestling podcast interviewer. That's right, Dan Eddy. I met Chris Van Vliet, baby.
That is awesome. How was it?
Dude, the meet and greet experience with Chris was great. Such a nice guy. Obviously, you already know I had to plug the pod. Had
So
to give him
fucking
the
cool.
card for both my channels. Man, Chris Van Vliet, like what you see,
He's
like
so
with
cool
the
and chill.
interviews, like what you get from like the interviews and stuff, like his energy, that's exactly what he brings to real life. Like it's not a persona, it's not a character. It's just such a genuine guy.
He
And
makes me just want to just sit down and have a beer with him and talk wrestling for hours.
He recently brought on Santi Zap. He's this big wrestling YouTuber or whatever, but he does like live reaction stuff like I do. And he brought him up on the podcast or whatever on his podcast. So I'd really love to be able to grow my platform and be invited on.
He made wrestling interviews entertaining. Yes,
he did. He did. Yeah, I agree. 100%, Angelo.
And even Rage just said it, I believe, multiple times here on the pod. Like with Chris Van Vliet, like it's just, man, like the
like
one-on-one interactions. Like it's not about getting a click. It's not about drama or like the downfall of a certain former wrestler. It's always just a genuine one-on-one conversation, talking about the careers, talking about the highlights. And that's what I love about Chris Van Vliet's pod. Like he's not looking for the clicks. He's not looking for the views. Like he generally wants us to get to know this individual who's behind the larger than life persona.
It's so authentic too, in the way he presents the interview and presentation, and within itself, it's almost just like a regular conversation. Like if he were to ran into him on the street, him or her, and they were having a conversation, and the cameras just happened to be there. It's so smooth. It's so like there's no like limitations on it. It's just them talking, and the camera just happens to be rolling. It's so that's why people tune in, because it feels like, and I think Santi Zap, Danny mentioned it on the interview too. Like he doesn't want to be like this over the top reactor or like a big time person, because then he doesn't feel the same way the audience does. He wants to connect to the audience a lot more by doing these authentic interviews or authentic reactions or whatever. So that's why he doesn't have those big wrestlers on his channel.
One of my favorite interviews that Chris Van Vliet ever did was with Jelly Roll. I love
oh my god, bro!
Interview.
Jelly Roll was fantastic.
Fantastic. But like I could just say, hey, you can go listen to the interview with Jelly Roll, or you can go listen to this interview, that interview. Honestly, you have the time, go for a nice long car ride and listen to all of them, because Chris Van Vliet interviews are always a 10 out of 10. You could definitely learn something new about one of your favorite wrestlers, or even somebody that you don't know. Mm-hmm. Those are some of the best podcasts you do. But Chris Van Vliet, such a nice guy. And the Santana stuff we'll probably talk about during the weekly news and rumors. But there it is. Berg, WCW legend.
And he got a lot of shit over.
I was gonna say we might as well talk about the controversy here, because everybody's covering it, so we might as well share our thoughts on it.
So Goldberg obviously was that big event, New York, and
what's up, James?
KNS Wrestling, which is like this. They're like promoters, whatever. They bring people on for like.
They brought Taz in for big event this past year.
Yep, and I guess they talked to the guy that brought Goldberg in to do a private signing, and according to KNS Wrestling, Goldberg, he took care of another vendor, and then he just got up and left. More has come out of that, and I think even one of the actual promoters for Big Event New York brought it up, and said that KNS Wrestling was not promised that Goldberg would do their private signing. If he had time, he would. People have to remember, like, at first I was like, oh, that's a douchey ass move, and then I was really thinking about it and reading more into the story. It's like, when these pro wrestlers and performers get brought in for autograph signings, like we even know because we brought Blue Meanie,
we brought in Nunzio and
Nunzio. Like you only have them for a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? It's not like they're there just to hang out all fucking day from the time it opens to the time it closes. Like they're there from like 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. or 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Well, however long the time is, and when their time is up, they're gonna fucking want to go home or go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like it's their job at the end of the day. They're not there to hang out.
And also, I want to give like my perspective on it as well, because not only have I
'cause you were
brought
there.
people in for
Yep.
Wrestling Classic, but I've been to multiple big event New Yorks. I actually know promoters. We're very close friends with Captain's Corner and Bill from Zombie Hideout, who
Shout out
bring
to
in
them.
wrestlers all the time, and they do a fantastic job. KNS also does a great job. But when you do mail-in orders, which a lot of the times these promoters do that because you have the opportunity, like you have the chance to get a bunch of things signed, make a lot of money, because some of these names like Goldberg, they're probably getting paid $100K for these meet and greet appearances.
Easily.
And they have a certain amount of time, which is usually 4 to 5 hours. And these mail-ins, the one thing that Tom and any promoter that runs a big wrestling convention does say to these people, it's happened even at the Wrestling Classic, it's not guaranteed. Because at the end of the day, Tom is paying Goldberg $100,000 plus to meet fans that are at the big event New York. And of course, do his mail-in orders because he's the one that's spending the money. These other promoters, vendors, they're not guaranteed anything when it comes to these signings. And KNS shouldn't be getting shit for this, but Big Event also shouldn't be getting shit for this. This was just a miscommunication, and I think it was just blown out of proportion because everybody tries to find a reason to hate on Goldberg. Now,
I will say, shout out to.
I didn't have the best experience with Goldberg at Big Event New York.
Really?
And even like what
you call him Goldberg in his face.
It is surprising because he is good for the fans. Like I've seen a lot of people that day have a 10 out of 10 experience with Goldberg. It just happened that apparently he didn't like that I had a VIP ticket because I had purchased it prior. There was 25 available and I got front of the line access. Goldberg's line was going all the way back, and maybe Goldberg didn't know what they were doing with like how the thing was working because he's there signing stuff, taking pictures. So maybe it was just a miscommunication or something there. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt because I've heard people say they've had great experiences with Goldberg, but I got to skip the line. That was a part of my package. And he kind of like gave me like the dirtiest look, signed my thing, and then like one of my like tapes like fell off the back of my figure that he signed, and he kind of like tossed it, like didn't like just place it, and the tape came off of my figure and kind of like the box, like I had to like fix it and stuff afterwards. And then even the promoter like didn't even give me like 2 seconds after I got the photo with him to get all my stuff together.
Damn. I hate that when they do that at the airport too.
Goldberg is not an asshole. But Goldberg's not an asshole in this situation.
Yep.
It's just KNS, like they were told, and every promoter is told when you do a mail-in with a big name that they have to get their meet and greets done first with the fans. And Goldberg had a consistent line throughout that entire event. And I can say that.
And I will say shout out to KNS because
who threw my figure? Goldberg.
They did make a post about the whole situation, whatever, but you know, they never once, you know, degraded Goldberg. They never said anything negative about it. They just were outright told, you know, said about
addressing their fans that
you know
purchased
so,
the Goldberg ticket.
You know, anybody in that, anybody else in that situation, so many people I know like would have been like, you know, fuck this guy, you know, this and that, but like they didn't say anything. They were just apologizing. They were saying Goldberg just got up and left, and like, you know, so shout out to them for not, you know, going to that length of, you know.
I do want to answer this question by Angelo real quick. So is Goldberg walking out different to the Jade situation? Absolutely 100% different, because Jade Cargill was late to the meet and greet at Fanatic Fest that year that I met her. And she didn't stay for her full time. So she came in late, left early. Goldberg was there actually pretty early. Like, I think that he like clocked in maybe like a half hour before he was supposed to. And he was signing stuff consistently, meeting people consistently until 3:00. That was his time. And then he ended up leaving. He did his job.
Yep. Alex, I don't know how obtainable that is. I don't like, you watch us on a weekly basis, but I don't think you realize how big we are not. You know,
no, Danny, you are directing this wrong. Alex Johnson, if you could pay for Liv Morgan's booking fee to get on this podcast, please do. I don't know what you're going to get for
Honestly,
it.
I'm a
You're
little,
the
I'm a
ultimate
little
fan if you
afraid
do that.
if he's able to afford it, because that's just how determined he is to get Liv Morgan on the podcast.
Bro.
He does get a lot of shit for his opinions, and that's why like I'm trying to put my personal issues that I had meeting him aside.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, like Goldberg really wasn't at fault here, and he's getting a lot of shit for it. And I've always said this since the very first episode of this podcast. I'm going to say it like it is. And Goldberg is not in the wrong here. Even though he was a shitty person to me. But that's all. I'm still trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's kind of tough. Goldberg.
All
right, and moving on now. Got to meet Jake the Snake Roberts, and I got a very funny story here with Jake that I do want to share with you guys. I didn't get this on the vlog at all because I wasn't. One thing I will not do is harass a wrestler at an airport or a hotel. And Jake the Snake was staying at the hotel. Same with Jimmy Hart. I got to see Jimmy Hart as well. He was going out getting chicken nuggets with his friends.
And then they were at the same hotel you were?
Yeah, they stayed at the same hotel as me. So here's the funny thing about this. Ready? So it's the morning time of the big event, and we're heading out pretty early because we got to freeze our asses off in line. And I walk out of the hotel. Who do I see? Jake the Snake Roberts just smoking a ciggy. So I go to Jake the Snake and I said, "Good morning, Jake." And then he goes, "Good morning." Just freaking smoking that cigarette. And then I ended up leaving, going to big event. And then after that, I ended up actually seeing him again. And I asked him how his cigarette was in the morning time. Jake was so cool. Oh, man. Then also got to meet Swerve Strickland finally. This was a cool experience. Swerve,
let's go, man.
He's great
than he looks on TV.
Oh, for sure. A lot bigger, definitely. Definitely a lot bigger. And then there it is, my pro photo op, my only one I did for that day, and that is with the great Muda. And I actually was this close from missing that photo.
Really? Why?
So, you remember Carmella, right? From WWE? Staten Island. She won the Money in the Bank.
Carmella, yeah.
Carmella.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She likes to talk a lot. That's why I almost missed out on my meet and greet. When I tell you, she was talking to people for 5 to 10 minutes at a time. Oh my God. I missed out on people because of it.
Was it kind of like the same vibe as Jericho?
Have you ever met Prince Nana? Yes, I did. Nano is a very nice guy. Super nice. You'll see him in the vlog if you check it out this Friday.
Was it the same experience like as Jericho? He was just, talkative?
Who?
Jericho?
Oh, yeah. She was very, very talkative, but I don't know. Like, for me, like, she was kind of rude.
She's from Staten Island. That's how they talk.
Maybe because I was in a rush.
Isn't she pregnant?
I have no idea.
That could be why.
But, like, she was having these crazy conversations, then here I am, and then she just signs. But she actually did live in Spencer, Mass. So that was kind of cool that she shared that with me.
Bro, I had no idea until last night. I had no idea Samantha Irvin was from Dennis, Mass.
What?
Yeah.
I go to West Yarmouth and Cape Cod usually in the summer.
Ricochet was like, the only good thing to come out of this state is my wife. I was like, wait, Samantha's from Massachusetts? So I looked it up and she's from Dennis. I had no idea.
Yeah, so then also AEW Dynamite, me and Dan the Man, which we'll be having a vlog in a couple weeks coming out to the We Are Wrestling channel. We made it on TV. Look at us. Not the best graphic, but there we are. Woo! And you know what's funny? We did not plan wearing the same shirt. We wore the same Kenny Omega shirt. What a good time.
Telepathy, bro.
And then I also want to give, before we get into the actual show itself, I do got to give a huge shout out here to one of the We Are Wrestling maniacs, in Justin We Trust. And I'm going to be doing a whole video on my channel, my toy channel, Best One Donnie, with this. And I got the official John Cena Farewell Gold program.
Oh my God.
And I haven't opened it or
That is
anything.
beautiful.
But I'm going to do a whole video going through this book. But I have to give Justin a huge shout out here because he gave this to me at Dynamite. And these things right now are selling for about $150 to $200 a program.
Damn.
And Justin's a good friend of mine. And he's been a loyal maniac here on the channel. And he gave me this for retail. I only had to pay $30.
You know what that reminds me of?
So thank you and Justin We Trust for that Cena
remember-
program.
Do you remember back then, like way back then in the early 2000s, Burger King was handing out those little gold-plated Pokemon cards in the Pokeballs?
I think so.
That's where that book reminds me of, like a giant.
That
Pokemon,
was like in promotion for like one of the Pokemon movies, like Mewtwo. Or
I think so. Yeah, I still have maybe one laying around here. Yeah, but also fun fact: Hornswoggle, aka
Oh, I fucking love that
Landon.
guy. Danny and I were fucking crying at
not
Blitzkrieg.
Landon,
Batista!
We made it
real,
on Ethan
real-
Page's
real name
like,
is Dylan,
vlog
but
before.
he's actually from Oshkosh, which is where I went to college.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
Small
little fun
world.
fact.
Me and a couple years ago, me and Donnie made it on. We were at Zombie Hideout for our meet and greet with Ethan Page. I think
That's a
was
vlog you
there.
need to check out, ladies and gentlemen.
Talking
about
we were
Throwback
on
Thursday.
We were on a quick, small little segment in Ethan's vlog, so that was pretty cool.
It was cool, but I'll answer this question and then we'll move on with the program. Is Collision actually fun being there live because it's not on TV? AEW is so good live compared to watching it on TV.
Oh yeah,
I could say
I feel
that.
like any
WWE, on the
sporting
other
event is
hand,
better live.
WWE is better watching it on TV than being there live.
Any wrestling show you go
Unless
to,
it's a pay-per-view.
any wrestling show you go to is fun, you know, just to be in that environment or whatever, because you guys are all there for this one common thing. That doesn't normally happen. You know, when you go to the grocery store, not everybody there is there for like a gallon of milk or eggs or whatever. Like, but like being at like a wrestling show or like a concert, like, you know, you guys are all there for this one common thing. So it's like a big family reunion. You know what I mean? You end up striking up conversations, you end up becoming friends, like, you know.
Oh, for sure.
Even though I'm not a big fan of AEW, I would still go to their show just because I like that environment. You know,
Me
what I mean?
too. And man, like I think just going to a live show period is always better than TV.
That's what I was gonna say. I went to the Monday Night Raw not too long ago, but it was when they were having the TLC and Kevin Owens and everybody else, Braun Strowman, when they were still there. They were doing a promo, and I lost my voice at the end of the night. Like, it wasn't even done yet. I had no voice because I was like yelling, doing all the chant that they do on TV. I think any sporting event is pretty fun when you experience it live.
No, that's not a green screen, Critical Rick. That
Yeah,
is
I was gonna
Donnie's
say
collection.
Yeah,
That's
that's real.
his actual
Unfortunately,
collection.
I've spent a lot of money on this.
We can,
Unfortunately,
there you can get a better idea of what it looks like.
Yeah,
oh, you had to do me like that.
the real thing.
My guy's got a problem. Man.
Wow,
He
I
needs to
actually,
inject it.
guys, it's been such a crazy weekend. It's been a crazy weekend that I totally forgot that I went to House of Glory after a big event.
Oh,
And
nice.
What's it, man?
I got a
go to the house
picture
so
with
bad.
Mercedes Moné after the show. Rage's woman.
Did she recognize you?
No, of course not. If I was
Oh.
Rage, she would have recognized me.
Do you know how
That's
many
true.
people? Whenever I
13
go
belts
to meet
Moné, but now it's 14 belts. And oh man, Dan the Man was not happy about that. And I got his reaction on the vlog coming out in a couple weeks.
whenever I go to meet a wrestler or whatever, like I never go in expecting them to remember who the fuck I am. You know what I mean?
Right,
There are
yeah,
some
no.
people that have remembered me through the years, but I don't
Look at my
expect it because they beat
13-year-old, bro. I
hundreds
can't
of-
believe Saturday I'll have a fucking 13-year-old.
Wow.
Insane.
Time flies. Happy birthday.
Donnie said happy birthday.
Happy
He
birthday.
said thank you. Dan Eddy said happy birthday too.
Happy birthdays in the live chat. There you
Yeah,
go.
happy birthday in the live chat. Abigail, your camera's not in here.
All right. Well, with that being said now, let's get into our highlight of the week. What is our highlight of the week this week in the wrestling world?
I would probably have to say Monday Night Raw from start to finish. Like, you know, I feel like they blew their load on that show, man. Like,
I'm so mad that I didn't have a voice. My reactions would have been so much better if I had a fucking voice.
thank you guys. Thank you guys. It's weird, bro. Just the fact that I have a 13-year-old on.
What am I?
What
What's
was
going
that?
on? I don't know.
Was that me?
I don't know.
I swear I have internet this time. I swear I have internet.
I don't know. Did
It's
Retribution
like Nia
hack
Jax,
into
bro.
our?
We're having a wardrobe malfunction.
Wait, I
Oh,
thought that Retribution were hacking our pod there.
Oh,
for
the
a second.
YS6, man, they're coming for us.
I guess so. Yeah.
But yeah, I looked confused. So my thing didn't froze. There we go. Or no, that's Dan. I guess you didn't froze. Me and Danny did.
I didn't freeze, but I thought it was my internet because it's always been my internet. That's the problem.
Yeah. Why had Chainsaw Charlie
I
doing a
freeze
bunch
too?
of things upstairs?
Yeah, you guys both froze, and I was just
All right,
kinda
well, we're
like,
back. We're back,
We're
Jack.
back, man. YS6, get the fuck out of the chat, man.
hey,
You're
don't
hacking
piss
our
him off,
shit.
bro. Shh, just ask him calmly to leave. Don't piss him
Next
off.
thing you know, we'll have fucking Uncle Howdy just standing in the back of fucking Donnie right there. You better watch out, man. He might come and attack you.
I do have an Uncle Howdy figure.
It'll come to life like Toy Story.
I can't wait for the new Toy Story. But oh man, we're so bad. What's our highlight of the week of the wrestling world?
I have to say Monday Night Raw, just from start to finish. Like, I will say, it was a bad thing that they loaded the show up like they did, because now people are gonna expect something massive to happen on SmackDown, and nothing is gonna happen because everything happened
agree.
on Raw.
And the 2 home shows next week.
Road
too.
Dogg's about to get more shit than he already gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raw was really, really good. I think I would have enjoyed it more if I had my voice.
So I was gonna pick the end of Monday Night Raw with CM Punk, giving a little quick shout out to John Cena, but Danny picked the episode of Raw, and my other highlight we're gonna talk about later in the TV recap. So I'm gonna choose NXT 2 nights ago. Usually I say last night.
Gold Rush.
The promo.
Oh, shout out to Josh Toy Show. He actually went to that show live. He did a whole vlog on his channel.
Oh shit! Really? That's awesome.
I think they did 2 shows because next week is taped because of things.
Yeah, the promo between Ricky Saints and Obafemi, that was fire. And when Obafemi was just talking about like, I came back, this is my house, like, I forgot the words, like exactly what he said. I don't want to paraphrase and ruin it, but I just remember watching that and I was like, damn, I wish I really had popcorn.
Yeah, so Josh confirmed it. They did tape week 2 after.
And I believe after SmackDown this week, they're going to be taping next week's episode of SmackDown too because of Thanksgiving.
So
That's one thing I love about Triple H taking over creative is the fact that
he gives them time
pro
off.
wrestlers used to have to be on the road for holidays, but now he gives it off. So those are the only tape shows that I'll stand.
Yeah, so my highlight of the week, I will say this. I've been to wrestling conventions a lot. Been to 2 wrestling shows, House of Glory and AEW Dynamite, which obviously all of those are my highlights. But like getting into like TV, man, my highlight's got to be the return of ZACK RYDER. And I know we're going to be talking about it in our TV recap. Seeing ZACK RYDER come back, man, I want him back.
I've been seeing so many memes, bro, of him.
I love ZACK RYDER. Matt Cardona, that's my guy right there. And I hope that they make a figure of him. He's really hoping. He signed a short-term merchandise deal.
I hope they do a tag team with him and LA Knight and have it being called Knight Rider.
Yeah, I heard somebody else mention.
I saw a meme that said that. I was like, that is a perfect idea because they're sort of similar too.
I just find it absolutely hilarious. I find it absolutely hilarious that 2 weeks ago he was Matt Cardona on NXT, but now he's fucking ZACK RYDER on his main roster.
I saw that. But then they had a quick flash of somebody holding a sign in the stands that said,
Angelo. They do have top cards of him, and he bought 100 of them. I'm sure by now he's bought 500 of them, and he's selling them all on Whatnot with getting them signed. Matt Cardona, some of the shit he be doing on the major pod.
Bro, I saw this post. I can't remember where I saw or who posted it, but somebody posted that ZACK RYDER was on a plane going somewhere, going to like a show or whatever, or signing, and he was on Whatnot during the flight, like selling stuff, whatever, and he made like $100 grand, and I'm like, bro, that dude's making money.
During one of his death matches, somebody wanted to buy his blanket at the hotel with all because it was all covered in blood because he didn't do stitches, and he made a lot of money off a hotel blanket with his own blood.
That's
Matt
hilarious.
Matt
Pillow
Cardona
sheets,
could
anything he'll sell on Whatnot. It's
Matt
crazy.
Cardona could sell ice to an Eskimo, bro.
Yep, he would sell it on Whatnot. Seriously. That's not even us plugging Whatnot. Whatnot, sponsor We Are Wrestling. Danny, what's your highlight of the week?
I mean, we've said it like 10
you already
times.
said it. Dan Eddy, what's your highlight of the week? Oh, yeah. You
I already said mine.
I said it. I said mine. All right. With that being said,
Let's go.
Let's get into our We Are Wrestling weekly TV recap. Some of them, which this week, let me tell you, I think wrestling, like for this past 3 months, it has been horrible. But all of a sudden, this week, We Are Wrestling Podcast, episode 183, happening on a weird Thursday. We had some really good fucking wrestling.
Oh,
there's a lot to talk about
agree.
in our TV recap. So let's get into my highlight of the week here. This past Friday on SmackDown, ZACK RYDER made his WWE return as LA Knight's mystery opponent in the Last Time Is Now tournament. What's your thoughts on this?
Go ahead, Danny.
I feel like they kind of overhyped this tournament, to be honest with you. Like, they said it was going to be something that it didn't turn out to be. They said that we were going to have people that weren't in WWE, and we did. But when ZACK RYDER and Dolph Ziggler came out, you knew they weren't going to win. I feel like if they really wanted to have fun with this tournament,
they should have had Ziggler win, or
they would have had somebody advance. Who really wants to see fucking Solo Sikoa, bro? Give me a break.
I agree. I don't even. Doesn't make sense.
They should have squashed that beef between them. Get rid of that beef between them after that WrestleMania.
And another thing that I do want to talk about as far as this tournament goes. So everybody knows for the most part that it's going to be Gunther that wins. I don't see anybody beating him. My thing is, I don't think he needs the Intercontinental Championship. And if we have Gunther go up against John Cena like we think that's going to happen, I think Cena should lose the IC title at Survivor Series. But if
Dirty Dom's winning the belt back.
If he loses at Survivor Series, that makes me think that maybe John Cena is going to win. On Saturday night's main event, it's in Washington D.C. John Cena is a very soldier, patriotic here and there, everywhere. You know what I mean? I almost feel like John Cena is going to win this final match instead of going out on his back like you mostly do when you're heading out.
We'll see about that. That's another topic for another day, possibly next week.
Yeah,
I just have so much to talk
Survivor
about
Series
it.
predictions. But what's your thoughts on this, Dan Eddy, with ZACK RYDER coming back?
I loved it. I think he should have gotten a bigger pop, personally. And
Albany. Dude, I was talking to Justin about this, in line for big event, and he said for Albany that was a really good pop because Albany, New York.
For Albany, maybe, yeah. I feel like Shinsuke has been getting bigger pops lately than ZACK RYDER, and I don't understand that, but that's no other topic. As far as this tournament goes, too, I did like the addition of ZACK RYDER, and I do agree with Danny that at least one of them should have advanced, as far as the returns go, whether it was Ziggler, because Ziggler had a great match when Solo did that,
bro. When he did the zigzag, I was like, "Oh shit, he might actually."
He did that, charge up, whatever you want to call it, the thumb
kick.
Oh, we'll get into Ziggler.
He did that.
Talking about him soon.
There is a great debate, and I don't think there is a clear winner, but Ziggler is definitely top tier when it comes to selling other people's moves.
Oh yeah, dude. Back in the day,
The Rock. You can argue with some other people.
Yo, Dan. Back in the day, producers were telling Ziggler, "Stop selling. You're doing such a good job at it."
I think he mentioned that in his interview with Chris Van Vliet.
For
did
sure.
he have one? Anyways, yeah. So, as far as the ZACK RYDER part,
man,
I enjoyed it.
I
It was
hope
fan,
he's back.
fan service 100%. It wasn't related to the tournament at all. It was just sort of like, oh, yeah, here you go. There's a little, taste to keep you interested. I do think that they're going to pull some bigger strings later on. But yeah, I don't know. It's the Zack Ryder part. I
Dude,
liked little
I hope
lessons
he
off
gets
Ziggler.
signed. I do really hope that he gets signed, Matt Cardona.
The two best sellers nowadays in not even just WWE but pro wrestling is Ziggler, Nemeth, and Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov has been fantastic.
He's so good that people are scared to face him. But with Zack Ryder, I just want to say this as well.
I feel like Ilya's going to bite
I
my ankles like
remember
a
a long time ago, and I know, Danny, you were here when this happened. Dan Eddy,
What?
didn't even know you existed during this time.
That's
so a long time ago, I remember there was like rumors about Matt Cardona possibly like coming back to WWE as Matt Cardona. And I remember, Danny, you and Ben giving me shit saying we're never going to get a Zack Ryder return in WWE. And look what happened. Not only did we get Zack Ryder, we got friggin' Dolph Ziggler.
Well, that's because like Matt Cardona has said numerous times. He outright said Zack Ryder's dead. Like if he goes back to WWE, he's going back as him. And I kind of find it hilarious that he didn't. Like I understand logistically, like Zack Ryder's WWE's IP. They would have to sign all kinds of contracts and get the rights to use Matt Cardona on TV.
Yeah.
So I understand why they went with Zack Ryder. But I feel like since 2020, since Matt left WWE or got released, he's built up his name so well and, built up so much equity. I just feel like giving him that chance on TV with his real name, that would have done wonders for him. Because there's a lot of WWE fans that watched on Monday that the last time they saw Zack Ryder was before he got released. Like they don't know anything about the indies. They don't know what
I wish that like commentary like explained that. I think that's like maybe one of the negative things about him and Ziggler's return. They should have been talking about Nick Nemeth in TNA. They should have been talking about Matt Cardona in the indies. But I did love seeing Zack Ryder come back because Matt Cardona, that's the indie god. That's the deathmatch king. That's separate from his run in WWE. So I kind of liked getting Zack Ryder for one night, even though I did prefer the old school radio than the one that he came out with. But beggars can't be choosers. And honestly, overall, just really, really happy that he came back. And hopefully this opens the door for a Matt Cardona debut in WWE.
And I kind of another thing, I kind of wish that the roles were reversed a little bit. I feel like Zack Ryder should have been on the Madison Square Garden show because he's from Long Island.
I'll tell you some interesting stuff about that, actually.
And I feel like Nick Nemeth should have been on that SmackDown.
Yep. So believe it or not, because I listened to Busted Open Radio with the host, obviously, they're talking to Dolph Ziggler because he's on the show, Nick Nemeth. And pretty much that was the plan. Nick Nemeth was pitching for Zack to go to Madison Square Garden. But then WWE, I guess, wanted Dolph Ziggler because, yes, both are over during their time in WWE, but one had a world championship run. One did have better booking than the other, and that's why they went with Dolph Ziggler than Zack Ryder. And that's why they chose to do Albany for Zack, and then they chose Dolph for Madison Square Garden.
Gunther did return with his NXT UK theme. I
loved it.
I watched a little bit of NXT UK, but I wasn't like a weekly watcher or whatever. I would watch the highlights and stuff like that. So
I never watched it.
I didn't even recognize that theme until
me neither.
Monday.
Oh, I did. I watched the highlight clip of when he made his debut in NXT UK as Walter after Pete Dunne successfully defended his UK title. And yeah, I was excited when I saw him come out to that.
I might be in the minority, but I still miss his name Walter. Like Gunther, I've gotten used to it because it's been so long, or whatever. But
I like Gunther.
I wish he would go back as Walter.
But let's move on now to our next TV recap here. Last week on TNA Impact, Fandango JDC announced that he'll be having his last match at TNA Genesis and retiring from in-ring competition. What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, how many pro wrestlers, and it's a topic of discussion because of what's going on with Cena right now. And, not everybody wants a farewell tour or whatever. I feel like Cena, he's one of those rare instances to where he's built up so much equity with the fans that it's warranted, but I don't think it necessarily work with somebody like Fandango. But, like, how many pro wrestlers, like, get the opportunity to go out on their own, like their own merit? Yeah. Like, if you want to retire, you can have one last match. There's a lot of pro wrestlers. I mean, Chris Bay, for instance, like he took one of the most common new moves, imaginable. He ended up, with all kinds of medical issues. Who knows if he's ever going to be able to wrestle again? Big E, another instance. Like, when you get into pro wrestling, you never know, like, what your day-to-day life is going to be, because you could be wrestling one night and then the next night something tragic could happen unexpectedly.
Accidents happen in this business.
Just the fact that Fandango is going to be able to go out on his own, like he's going to be able to have one more match and then call it a career. I mean, every pro wrestler wants that.
Oh, for sure. How do you feel about this, Dan Eddy? Were you watching WWE around the time Fandango was there?
He came out.
You know what I did? Yeah. Oh yeah. I did watch it. Yeah. I was trying to, like, Fandango sounds so familiar.
Wasn't Lana with him before she was with Rusev?
It was him and Tyler Breeze,
no,
right?
Not Lana. He was with Summer Rae.
Summer Rae. I thought that was.
It was
and then Eva Marie. She was like the dancer one time, and then she botched it, of course.
Yeah.
Shocker.
What Danny was just saying was kind of like how I was feeling. Was anytime a wrestler can announce his or her retirement and be able to get that one final match, and people are there for it, I think that's the most important part that fans are there for. They're going to watch it. They're going to tune in, because that shows a lot of respect that the fans have for those wrestlers. So being in the wrestler's shoes, or wrestling boots in this case, they feel like they've done it. They feel like they've accomplished what they could have done. There's always that, that thought where, like, oh, you could have done more, or like you could have had this title or that title. But feeling like going out on a good way like this, I think it's always a great day for him.
As a friend of Fandango, I'm really happy for him. Absolutely had a great career. And he even got to come back as Fandango recently with the TNA WWE partnership on NXT. And he is doing really good work, especially in TNA the last couple of years. He's a part of the system with Moose, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, Alicia Edwards. And it's unfortunate that he is retiring, because I've always been a fan of his work. He's done such a great job at being the serious character, but also the comedy character. And he got over with his entrance, which was very popular during the PG era. One of the highlights in the PG era, if I would say. But real quick though, here's the thing though about Fandango retiring. Like I always say, I'm all for people being able to end their career on their own terms, and he's satisfied with the career he's had, and I wish him nothing but the absolute best. And I love that he's able to pretty much decide when he wants to hang up the boots.
Yep. And like, I know before he came back to TNA or whatever, because he did like this live, he did an interview with, I think, Chris Van Vliet or whatever, and he started his own real estate company, and like, so like he's doing really
he's
good
a contractor
stuff.
too.
Yeah,
he like builds really houses and stuff
outside of pro wrestling, whatever. So like, there's a lot of
just got married too.
There's a lot of guys that, they stay into pro wrestling because that's all they know. They don't have anything else. Like, they're worried about, like, how they're going to end up feeding themselves after they leave or whatever. But he's doing really well, and he knows when to step away. So, I shout out to him, man. Hope everything is good in the future.
Absolutely. And he beat Chris Jericho in his debut WrestleMania match. All that year, he was over.
Yeah, but it didn't really, like,
I remember
push him.
They didn't really capitalize on his popularity. Like, he should have had an Intercontinental title at least. But I will say this, and I'm sure you boys will agree with me. I think towards TNA Genesis, whenever we get to that week, whenever it is, which I think is in January, I think for getting put over that week, we should do Fandango. What do you say?
I'm down.
All right, well, let's move on to another TNA thing. Wow, TNA is actually making the TV recaps. Only if we can get that TV
I have a
deal.
feeling this is not going to be the good part of the discussion, though. If I think
Oh
I know
no,
what
this is some good. We'll talk about the good here with this one, and then we'll get into Santana. But at TNA Turning Point, Desmond Xavier, formerly known as Wesley, returned to TNA with the Rascals. And according to Fightful, Desmond Xavier is not under a TNA contract. Though there are creative plans, Zachary Wentz's deal is up on January 1st, 2026. The Rascals are exploring their options and expected to have interest outside of TNA. But let's talk about Wesley's return first, and then we can maybe talk about the future of the Rascals possibly leaving.
Eddie, I'll let you go first, man.
Oh, well, I was going to let you go first because I'm not too familiar with a lot of the TNA
I was going to
wrestlers.
say. I was going to say that because I figured you don't really you don't really know the Rascals too much, but I know you do know Wesley.
No,
from NXT.
I've been dabbling in the TNA a lot more because of like the TNA verse, the anniversary, and then when AJ Styles returned, and when they start having the title being featured in NXT, I kind of tune in to TNA more, but it's hard to.
You don't have time for everything. We all don't have time for everything,
especially this past month.
You're good. Me and Danny got this. We'll take
So Wesley Desmond did show up at the TNA tapings recently. His first match since WWE released them out of nowhere. I'm actually shocked that they did release them because
I'm not surprised.
They need the fucking talent. I'm kind of surprised, bro.
For
a while there, Wesley was like a big deal, especially when like around the time like Nash Carter, they got released him, whatever, and it seemed like they were pushing Wesley into this big singles push, whatever. He was North American champion. He had great matches on a lot of the TNA or NXT PLEs. I thought they had something in them. So fast forward, he got released from NXT. He just reunited with the Rascals after his botched heel run, which was fucking hilarious. Should have never cut his hair. But it turns out that the Rascals, their contract is going to be up starting in January. And the word on the street is they might be going to AEW.
I see it happening.
Part of me does too.
I will say this, though. The reason why I'm not surprised about Wesley, Desmond Xavier not working out in WWE as a singles wrestler is because I thought he reached his ceiling when he won the NXT North American Championship. And that's not discrediting him. Desmond is so good at what he does. Fantastic performer. But I thought that if he was going to ever make it to the main roster, it was going to be with Zachary Wentz and MSK. Yeah. That like I could have saw that, like you could have put them in that crazy feud we had over the summer with the SmackDown tag titles with Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Wyatt Six. Like I could have saw them like in there. But with Wesley, like I think him going back to TNA with his brother, Zachary Wentz, like and Trey Miguel, it's meant to be. And I remember like during the dying days of Impact Wrestling, watching like they did these like That 70s Show vignettes, like where like the That 70s Show, and they would smoke, like they would like have like the table and like you would all like they do promos because there was like 3 of them, so like they pretty much like would pan at like one person, pan at the next one, maybe go back to that one. Like, dude, I loved the Rascals even before they got signed to WWE. And I'm happy they're back together.
If Tony Khan and AEW really wanted to capitalize on this entire situation, say the Rascals do go to AEW, like, all of them, not just Desmond and Zach. They have such a division there. If they wanted to get rid of 1 or 2 of their mid-card titles and bring in like a light heavyweight or a cruiserweight division championship, like TNA has the X division,
but then again, everybody on the AEW roster could compete for that because they're all small.
What exactly, bro? But like You got to get
Ooh.
a title or something for these guys to fight for.
Now that would get me interested in the trio titles.
Yeah, they could.
I would
I
not
have
be
no
totally
faith in
against
Tony.
that.
I have no faith in Tony Khan's booking, though, to be honest with you, because
I
we've
wouldn't be
seen
totally
we've
against
seen it
that.
so many times that guys that we think are going to be big deals, and then Tony Khan fucking pushes them for like a month and then takes them off TV randomly. I mean, was anybody
for my
harder than Wardlow after he turned on MJF and Tony Khan didn't capitalize on it?
Yeah, no, you're right. But now if I had to pick NXT or AEW, obviously I want them back in NXT because they were doing so good until fucking false accusations happened. Zachary Wentz got released, never got re-signed, which I still, to this day, I question that.
Well, yeah, he makes appearances as Zachary Wentz. I still find that hilarious.
But, like, I wouldn't mind them being back together as a team in NXT, but I do think realistically it is going to be AEW because their tag division, they kind of need something new. Like, we need a spark. And honestly, I think Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier, they could be the spark that maybe gets the tag division excited. Like, I could already see the Rascals versus the Young Bucks. That'd be a fun match. FTR.
The Rascals versus Skyflight.
Skyflight, exactly. Like, there's so much I think that they could do.
I still think if they want to capitalize, bro, they should bring in like a light heavyweight title or like,
but you know what?
Something similar.
But you know what? I'm not going to criticize AEW's booking right now with them until we actually see what happens, because as of right now, 2025, two notable names that I can think of off the top of my head have signed, went from TNA to AEW. Speedball Mike Bailey and Josh Alexander. And they both are regularly on TV. So that's why I'm not going to criticize
Speedball Mike Bailey,
the Rascals.
Josh Alexander, he's just, he's the fifth of.
You can say what you want. You can say what you want about that. He's still on TV regularly.
NWO, man.
He is wrestling Kenny Omega in a 6-man tag match at Full Gear on pay-per-view. That's pretty good.
Kenny Omega has lost so much.
That's better than what Deonna Purrazzo has done, because they haven't been using her.
Done nothing. Ace Austin, bro. I didn't even know he was signed to AEW.
Yeah, but Ace Austin right now is dealing, I believe, with injuries. So I'm not gonna talk about his booking yet, only because he's been hurt. So I'm not gonna consider
that. Ring of Honor, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, but the Rascals, I'm excited to see what they do in TNA. Maybe they end up re-signing. We'll have to wait and see. But let's get into another highlight of the week for a lot of people. We already talked about the ZACK RYDER return. We might as well talk about this past Monday on Raw. Dolph Ziggler making his WWE return as Solo Sikoa's mystery opponent in the Last Time Is Now tournament. Thoughts?
It was heavily speculated that day on Monday, like early in the afternoon or whatever. And like somebody in my chat that night, when I was doing the watch along, was like, "Yeah, I know who the mystery opponent's gonna be," and I was like, usually I would be down for spoilers, just because like nothing really excites me that much anymore. I've been watching so much wrestling, but like I was oddly excited about Monday Night Raw. I was oddly excited about it, and like I don't feel like I was as excited for a pro wrestling show as I was Monday, since maybe the very first show that Triple H took over, because I really thought we were going to be getting something special with him because of his roots in NXT Black and Gold and the takeovers. Like I thought he was going to really make Raw and SmackDown something special. It turned out not to be the case. But like since then, I haven't really been overly excited. Like I'm excited to stream, I'm excited to talk to my chat, and I'm excited to hang out with people, but as far as like the actual show, I'm not usually overly excited.
I think that was you, Danny, that mentioned in the chat, like, "Oh, Monday Night Raw was fire," or "best show in a while," or something like that.
It was the best show.
It was really good.
Yeah,
I
agree. Yeah.
I was overly excited for this show. Like I just had like a new energy about myself. You know what I mean? Like,
what is this power,
Danny? You're glowing.
It's a feeling I haven't felt in a while, man.
I feel weird.
You know what I mean? I feel weird in here.
I'm gonna be glowing when I win that championship next week.
Oh no, you're gonna lose it.
Even
feel
though I
like
don't
I'm
want to
gonna
win the
it
champion,
because guess
even though
who
I don't want to
watches
win
the
the
weekly shows every week? Me, without missing an episode. Me.
Oh, fuck you. I watch the
off.
shit when I feel like it.
Yeah, when you feel like it.
But
I'm still getting like those
Dan
that
Eddy,
beginner's luck or something going on right now.
what's your thoughts with Ziggler?
I loved it. I was thoroughly surprised. I was trying to speaking of chat, I think it was Danny who spoiled it when he put it in the chat because I was trying to avoid.
That
I'm
wasn't
not
me. That
I'm
was
not.
Ben.
Oh,
No,
is that
that
Ben?
was
It's
Ben, yeah.
Ziggler. He's like, it's
Oh.
Ziggler.
Oh,
Good thing
okay.
I was not on my phone and I was so tired that night.
I was trying to stay off my
I knew
phone,
I had to
but when
watch
I had to work overtime during it, and I was like, all right, I'll take a break. And I was scrolling through Instagram, and I'm like, all right. And then I saw my notifications because you guys were blowing up my phone. And I was like, oh, fuck. But I was totally surprised because I loved it. I thought Ziggler was one of those people that you bring back, like, genuinely to get a huge pop, which he did. He got a well-deserved big pop because people recognize them more than Zack Ryder, I guess. But I
don't know, dude. I think it's the atmosphere.
My only issue with it was he should have won, and the fact that I don't think they don't have plans for Solo Sikoa anymore, like any farther in the tournament, unless he like beats Jay for some reason because Jey Uso is getting so much heat. I don't even know if they're facing each other or whatnot.
I swear to God, if Jey Uso is the last opponent for John Cena, I swear.
I thoroughly enjoyed that match because, like I said earlier, he's one of the best sellers of all time in wrestling history, and I will stand on that hill for the longest time.
I want to see him and Ilya Dragunov in a match. That'd be good.
That'd be great. Yeah,
I'm high on Ilya Dragunov. I don't give a fuck, bro. That dude's phenomenal.
He has grown a lot on me.
I feel like if I stand next to Ilya, he'll bite my ankles off or something.
Bro, his training shit's crazy.
I know the dungeon treats everything as
that was my only
WrestleMania
issue with
match.
it. My only knock against his return was he should have won that match.
I agree. And with Dolph Ziggler, I will say this. I think if Matt Cardona or Zack Ryder, if he were to return at Madison Square Garden, this might be a hot take because I feel like they are very neck and neck with popularity. But I think Zack Ryder would have got a bigger reaction if it was Madison Square Garden.
Danny, you're on to something. Just have Dolph Ziggler because there was talks of him being signed to the WWE, but he didn't want to do a long-term deal with them like he's done in the past, like tie down. He wants to do these shorter-term contracts. Have him sign a short-term contract with WWE after he is done with. I think he's on TNA, right? He's on TNA.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
there's a lot.
Have him done with being TNA. Have him do a short-term contract with WWE, and have a surprise pop when Ilya Dragunov does the open challenge for United States title.
I know, I know what you're saying. But it's also tough because the roster is so stacked, and that's why I think it is kind of hard for Dolph Ziggler and Zack Ryder to be signed to WWE. As talented as they are, there's a lot of very talented people right now in there.
And let me just preface it too. Let me just add on to my argument. The fact
Shout
that
out to all 55, we are WrestleManiacs.
The fact what I was saying earlier, I'm not mad on the fact that Dolph Ziggler lost and Solo won. It's not all on Solo. It's the fact that neither Dolph Ziggler nor Zack Ryder won.
Yeah.
If you want to keep people interested in the tournament, have one of the big surprise returns continue, and then have them tune in next week. Or I don't know if they're going to do any more surprise guests or whatnot. I haven't been following.
No, everybody that's in the tournament has already been announced.
Have one of them win. Whether or not they win or lose the next match, it doesn't matter because people are going to turn in next week because they have Finn, Jey Uso, Gunther, and Solo. 4 people that we've seen won matches before. They don't have that much of a history with John Cena. And now they're kind of forced to watch for the newer talent in the tournament and see who they're going to come up with NXT. Because that Gunther and Evans match, that was a great match. I enjoyed watching that match.
Javon Evans is phenomenal.
Yeah, I do.
Javon, yes. Javon Evans was fire. I am excited to see him even more. But
he's only 21, bro.
He's good. He's
good. And that was my only knock. It's not so much against Solo winning. It's more so neither of them won between Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. So before I forget, before we get into our last official TV recap, Danny, I want you to take it away with the Santana and the TNA news that happened, because we did get some false news over the week about Santana walking out on
Fake news
on TNA, which I'm surprised I totally forgot to put this in the show. So I'm going to let you take the reins here.
So I didn't watch the episode in question. I wasn't aware if I knew beforehand that it was going to be live, I would have, because I do try to watch the live episodes of TNA. I had no idea it was a live episode, so I didn't even bother. But Mike Santana, his first defense, his first time on TNA as the champion, he ends up losing to Frankie Kazarian. What a way to make sure that your product is not gonna be.
And people really think that TNA is going to be number 2 to AEW. Yes. Tony Khan might be a bad booker, but he doesn't do that fucking shit.
So Frankie Kazarian cashed in all your shot gauntlet win against Mike Santana, ended up winning the TNA championship. Fast forward to the following day, that Friday, I can't remember what show it was, but TNA was having a pay-per-view. They have them, whether it's on Sunday or Friday. I don't know why they have them on Friday, but there was a TNA pay-per-view.
I don't know why either.
And a report had come out earlier in the day that Mike Santana didn't make call time, because on show days, I don't know if anybody really knows this, but they have a routine that they go through. You either have to be at the arena at 1 a.m., 3 p.m., whatever. You have to go over what you're going to be doing on the show. You have to, that's your time to, prepare and do pre-tapes or whatever you have to do for that show that night.
You got that right, James. They should have never fired Scott. And I'm going to cut you off, Danny, because I got some shit I need to say about this.
100%.
I have the biggest love-hate relationship for TNA wrestling. I love the rebuild. I love what they've done. I love this working relationship with WWE. Like, to an extent, I'm not going to say it's perfect and freaking sunshine and rainbows. I'm not going to say that. But, man, some of their booking decisions fucking irk me. TNA Slammiversary. I was there live. New York. Oh, my God. Mike Santana, the reaction that this man got. They should have called an audible, and they should have put that world championship on him that night in New York, because that's their guy. Mike Santana's their guy. But then what do they decide to do? TNA Bound for Glory. He wins the championship, has his moment, but half the fans left because they were only there for the Dudleys versus Hardys.
Yeah.
Because I was there as well, and I can say that. And then TNA, another booking decision I hated. After your biggest show of the year, Bound for Glory, why is there no immediate TV taping?
It was kind of funny because before Bound for Glory, they had they kind of do what WWE used to do, to where they tape like 4 weeks of television, like a day or two.
Oh, in the Thunderdome era.
Yep, and then they over the next couple of weeks they put them. That's why they tape them or whatever. It's just logistically, like, I understand, because they're not like a multi-billion-dollar company or whatever. So
I don't give a fuck. Even during the dying days after Bound for Glory, we got TV tapings. There's no excuses. You are at your all-time high. You are at the mountain. You are at Ric Flair status. And then you decide to, you know what? We did a really good show. Let's just take a month off and just not do anything. And then the first show you do, Mike Santana, who you naturally, organically got over. You have him lose the championship to Frankie Kazarian on a stupid fucking trophy that him and Dolph Ziggler freaking two holders. Imagine WWE had 2 Money in the Bank winners. People would be pissed.
It was funny because after Bound for Glory, they had episodes air that had been taped before Mike Santana won the title.
Scott D'Amore would have never did this.
They had Bound for Glory. Mike Santana wins the title, and then the following week, that Thursday, they have a taping of TNA, and Mike Santana doesn't have the title, and people are like, "What the fuck's going on? Didn't he just win the title?" But anyway,
he can't get a word in, so he has to go in the live chat.
So anyway, Mike Santana lost the title.
Horrible
The following day, TNA had a pay-per-view, and Mike Santana apparently missed call time. He was supposed to be there at 1 p.m.
Fake news.
To go over the show, whatever. And somebody in TNA,
and I fell for it.
Somebody in TNA contacted a bunch of the Dirt Sheet writers or whatever.
I fell for it.
Mike Santana's not answering any phone calls. He's not showing up. He's not communicating with anybody in TNA. And it turns out a report came out later that night from Sean Ross Sapp, shout out to Fightful, saying that
he was the only one that didn't believe the bullshit.
saying that an executive in TNA is trying to work the Dirt Sheets and to make this seem like a shoot when it was really a work.
Well, they worked me because guess what? I was fucking pissed. What they did to Santana, it didn't make sense. How your most over natural organic talent wins the world championship, and your first taping back, he loses it to Kazarian, which I just want to say, Kazarian, he deserves to be a world champion, but I always say timing is everything.
He's not the
timing.
guy.
Not right now. Not now.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Angelo became a member for 24 months. Let's go.
What's up?
LLTNA. We appreciate it,
man.
Angelo. Brian Cutler in the live chat.
So,
what's going on?
Yeah. Frankie Kazarian's not the guy. If TNA's trying to go into this rebuild mode, they're trying to get a new TV deal or whatever.
Oh, you're gonna totally get a TV
Frankie
deal.
Kazarian is not the
fucking world champion.
Kazarian is not the guy. As much of a good wrestler as he may be, he's not a Mike Santana. He's not a Nick Nemeth. He's not one of these guys or whatever that can really.
But that's the thing. He can be a world champion. It's just the timing right now. It's not right. Santana should be having at least this. He should be holding the belt for at least 6 months to a year.
So here's where I stand with this, and I do want to sort of talk about the potential future of Mike Santana. I heard
once that contract is up, he's going right to WWE.
I heard this from Sean Ross Sapp on his live stream on Wednesday yesterday, and he was like,
he's leaving.
With TNA having a relationship with WWE, which is the potential place that Mike Santana will go at some point in the future, it would be very unwise for him to pull a stunt like this, to dodge phone calls from TNA or whatever, because that would get back to WWE, even though it's been proven that WWE lets a lot of shit slide. I'm not
depending on how talented, depending on the talent.
Yes.
If it's a Shawn Michaels, of course, they're gonna let him do whatever he wants.
Yes.
But if it's James Ellsworth, they're going to say, you're fired.
But the other thing that we have to take into account is with TNA, potentially signing a new TV deal with AMC, which I'm sure we'll discuss at some point. They may
we can talk about it now.
They might want, yes. Word has come out that TNA's new place is potentially going to be AMC Network. Starting in 2026 or somewhere. Nothing is confirmed
for TNA.
If that
TNA,
does happen,
yes, sir.
If that does happen, we could expect an announcement by the end of the year, I would imagine, because they would need to, promotion. They would need to roll out a lot of stuff, whatever. But the word on the street is they might want to have Mike Santana win back the TNA title on the first episode on AMC in front of a bigger audience.
Oh! He should have never lost the fucking title to begin with.
He shouldn't have, especially on his first night as the champion, coming back from Bound for Glory after that 4-week hiatus.
Why are we overanalyzing this? It's
because
horrible.
TNA makes no fucking sense.
I'm enjoying this. To be
I'm only saying what I know, man. Don't shoot the messenger, goddammit. I'll throw my bottle.
I feel like my message hasn't been received, bitch.
Shut up, you fucking crash out dickhead. Fucking. Inject it into your veins.
I told you this before I went on my rant. I have the biggest love, the biggest hate relationship with TNA wrestling.
Oh, shit.
You wonder how Santana feels? He had that wonderful moment.
Let me tell you. The
Lowell.
moment that
He had
contract
his
is up with
daughter- he had his
TNA,
daughter-
he's leaving.
He had his daughter in the ring. You know, this big emotional moment. He got on his hands and knees, handed the title to her, being like, you know, I fucking did it.
I would
said
love
was
to
gonna
know what
do
her
it."
reaction was when he lost the championship. I wish
She's
we had a
probably
video
like,
of
Dad,
her.
leave this fucking shithole company. Leave right the fuck now.
Dad, what the fuck are they doing? And then Santana would say, you know, you're not allowed to swear, but this one time I'll let it slide. Because that's how I feel. What the fuck?
You think you're crashing out? I could imagine how his daughter feels.
Yeah. But let's move on to our last TV recap because we still got some news and a big main event topic that we're going to be discussing.
It's not that big of a
with
main event.
Tony Khan and Ariel, a bunch of stuff later on in the show. But our last TV recap, and honestly, I'm really excited to talk about this because this was also one of my highlight of the weeks, Dan Eddy. This past Monday on Raw, we saw the return of AJ Lee giving the assist to a new Intercontinental Champion, Maxine Dupree, defeating Becky Lynch. What is your thoughts on this?
People look at me weird when I say that I feel like Maxine is a better in-ring performer than Jade Cargill.
They look at you crazy? I agree with you.
They look at me crazy, man.
That's wild. Wow. Yeah, I see somebody looking at you crazy right now.
Don't you be hating on my day, bro. He's champion, you know.
Dude, okay. What I said a few weeks ago, and I love how somehow, some way, even when she's not even in the news, we have to talk about her because Dan Eddy's here. Jade Cargill.
Fair, she's my second favorite.
like
Jade Cargill. This is how they should have booked her. This is how they should have booked her. The way they have built Maxine up to the Intercontinental Championship, that is exactly how they should have done it with Jade with the Intercontinental or United States Championship. She's not ready to be a world champion. I still stand on business.
I feel like one day Dan Eddy's gonna end up joining the StreamYard broadcast area, and it's just gonna be him laying on the floor with Jade Cargill sitting on his face.
We just gotta get a
And they
poster.
get to those yams.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the year if Dan Eddy had a poster of Jade Cargill right in that backdrop of his.
Jay Cargo or Roxanne
Might as well
Perez.
at this point. But getting back into Maxine, like, how can you not be happy for her? Like, she was one
story
of
too.
She was one of the most inexperienced, one of the worst workers in the ring a few years ago, and she has busted her ass, and you can tell this woman has put the work in time after time. And honestly, Becky made her look like $1 million fucking bucks this past Monday.
I don't ever
I
want to
am
hear.
so
I don't
happy.
ever.
for
I don't
Maxine.
ever want to hear somebody call Becky Hogan again.
Yeah, no,
saying
it's
that she never
Mercedes
fucked
Hogan.
anybody over.
It's Mercedes Hogan. It's
Mercedes
not
Hogan.
Becky Hogan no more.
Say what you want about Chad Gable, or if you didn't like enjoy Otis. Like, I mean, first of all, who would not enjoy Otis when he has TV time? Those
Maxine
two are
loves
two of the
Bro,
best
when
coaches that
Maxine won
Maxime
the title in the
Dupre.
backstage, Otis showed up. He's like, "Let's go, babe. Yeah, babe."
Those two are some of the best coaches that she could have had. And then when she gets this match, and like she's able to perform how she did on Monday. And like Danny said, Becky Lynch, like, she no longer deserves the Becky Hogan belt. She's gonna get probably Becky Hogan name calls when the AJ Lee feud starts back up again. But that was such a feel good story. Like, you can't go wrong with Maxine Dupree winning the title, whether or not she has it for 10 days or 89 days or even more.
She still got it.
Yeah,
That's, I think, what
she's
I'm really
just
happy
getting
about.
better. She's just getting there, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, and Jade Cargill is improving as well. She shouldn't be a world champion. An Intercontinental or United States is a good start for her.
Haters gonna hate.
Maxine,
I remember a
so
couple
happy.
years ago, Maxine, they were at a house show or whatever, and it was big news because I think we talked about it for an entire week on the podcast. Maxine was at a live event, non-televised event, or whatever, and she was getting booed out of the building or whatever, and a bunch of WWE talent like stuck up for her. And,
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess
She
the
was
guy
getting a
got
lot of
escorted.
shit.
Yeah.
Who,
So-
Jade?
No,
Maxine
Maxine.
Dupree.
Saying she can't
Yeah,
wrestle.
that's right. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Ooh, Angelo here in the live chat. Maxine's timing is way more off than Jade. It's not even close. Jade is a better wrestler. Well,
Thank you. Thank
but
you.
here,
Somebody's on my side at least.
okay,
Fuck.
well I'll tell you, Angelo, here's the difference. And Danny, usually you never agree with me, but I think you're going to agree with me on this one.
Danny's like, oh,
WWE,
shit.
it's about the characters. It's about the larger-than-life characters. And it doesn't matter about the in-ring at the end of the day. Who's more green, Jade Cargill or Maxine on television?
Maxine.
Jade is greener than the Grinch.
And
Maxine, on the other hand, has always been TV ready. She's always been comfortable in front of the cameras.
The thing that you have to also remember is Jade Cargill, she was in 2 companies. She was in AEW. She came over to WWE. And in that time frame, she hasn't gotten any better. Maxine has never wrestled or worked for any other company outside.
Yeah, she was
of
a former
WWE.
LA Rams cheerleader.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she came, and then she got, recruited to WWE, went to the Performance Center. I don't even know if she was ever in NXT.
She also does Pilates every day. I don't know if you guys watch that or follow Sheamus's workout channel, but he and Sheamus did a workout, and she put him through a rigorous Pilates workout.
Yeah.
So Cyrus in the live chat. Maxine proved she could be taught and improve in WWE faster than Jade could in both companies.
Yeah, you got to look at the fact that,
Pretty
if
much
Maxine was still how she is, but she worked in 2 companies, like a company in the past and WWE, and she was still, how she is now, I'd be like, okay, definitely not. But just the fact that the only company she's ever worked for is WWE. So she's learned everything that she knows on, from being on TV.
I do want to address this comment from Angelo here real quick. I'm sorry, but y'all never said this before. That one match she had with Becky. Believe it or not, if you didn't check the Monday Night Raw vlog that I did with my fiance for Cena's farewell that happened, she wrestled the dark match before they went on the air on Netflix, and they had a 6-man intergender tag match. And it was the Creeds and Ivy versus Maxine and Alpha. And she improved so much. And I believe I said that in the vlog. And even with Becky, that's all it took to show her skills. And honestly, I can't discredit Becky here either, because it does take 2.
Becky
put her over.
Has proved why she's one of the best.
Becky is the female version of Gunther.
Bro, did you see what what Adam Pearce posted on social media?
I have not.
I'm gonna try and find it.
All right, well, you find that. I just want to share my quick thoughts now on AJ Lee coming back. I loved that they did have AJ Lee cost Becky in this match, because I think that AJ Lee versus Becky does not need an Intercontinental Championship involved. And that's what I like about it. Oh, Becky's trying to get her title back. She's pissed.
Look at what he wrote, though.
I can't see.
What are we looking at?
It says crazy lady.
Oh.
They called you?
Crazy lady. Oh, no, I see it. I see it.
That's all Adam Pearce. And this is the caption he wrote.
Oh, he froze, buddy. There we go. I see it. Well, to the audio listeners, Danny, for some reason, has Adam Pearce's phone with Becky Lynch blowing up his phone.
I mean, bro,
I don't know where you find this stuff, Danny, but you're
Adam
amazing.
Pierce posted it on Facebook.
That's why you're here on the We Are Wrestling Pod.
It's part of the story, bro.
But AJ Lee, I do love that this is not involving the Intercontinental title with her and Becky.
AJ Lee and Becky
I think that this only furthers the feud, because now Becky lost her championship. She's pissed. And honestly, this Maxine title run, I'm excited for, because having somebody that's an underdog like her, I love those title runs because they're so unpredictable. What heel is going to take that belt off of her?
I had a good. Yes, I agree. I agree with that. Second of all, I had a quick booking idea with the IC title now that it's out of the hands of both of them. If they're going to have a feud,
not smart having her in War Games.
Becky Lynch and AJ Lee.
War Games.
I know.
They're going to incorporate Lyra or Bayley somehow, and maybe have Bayley, because Bayley's having her like personality disorder. She's really bipolar. She's having these multiple personalities.
She's doing a shitty job at it.
She went away from that for a couple weeks, and then now she randomly went back to it on Monday.
She might turn more into her heel, Bayley, and joined Becky Lynch's side. and then have it
I
AJ
don't
Lee.
know.
Hold on, hear me out. With AJ Lee and Lyra versus Becky Lynch and Bayley, because AJ Lee is there to help put over newer wrestlers along with Becky Lynch. So imagine what that would do with Lyra's career, and then possibly have a fatal 4-way and have Lyra reclaim it, because she never really lost it. She did lose it, but it was a fucking shitty ass losing the title.
Okay, you mentioned Roxanne, Angelo, but here's the thing: Roxanne is already ready to be a world champion,
and she's not.
She
That's
don't
fucking
need
bullshit.
no Intercontinental. She don't need no Intercontinental or United States.
She needs the world champion.
Now, honestly, a heel that I would like to see win the Intercontinental title, Raquel Rodriguez. I think that she'd be a perfect person to take.
Thank you, Angelo. I do. Yeah, it's still a wrong call.
I think it's going to be Roxanne Perez. I think she's going to
Oh,
hold
and
the
then
title.
her and Liv are going to feud.
I
for
think
the
Liv
IC
Morgan
title.
is going to come back, feud with her
I
for
can
the
see that.
title. I think Liv Morgan is going to take the title off of Roxanne Perez.
Well,
Dominic is going to obviously have the IC title. Dominic and Liv are going to end up leaving Judgment Day because, Dominic and Finn and all of them have been at odds for months now.
I can't wait for the day Finn
So,
Balor goes back to his old gimmick.
I think Dom and Liv are going to go off as both IC champions away from Judgment Day. That's how I think. And I do think, part of me thinks that they're going to end up going back babyface. I think Dominic is at this point to where he's done everything he needs to do as a heel. I feel like he needs to have a babyface run.
Give that man the world championship.
That'll really show what he's capable of doing.
Oh, dirty Dom. I can't wait until we get that world championship
it's easy
on
to
him.
talk shit, but to be a babyface is that much harder. And I feel like if you really want to see what this kid is capable of, make him a babyface.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But now, with that being said, let's get into the We Are Wrestling Podcast weekly news and rumors.
Woo!
Say his name and he appears.
Joe Hendry.
Fightful. Joe Hendry has officially signed with WWE. And according to Fightful, Joe Hendry is on a main roster level WWE deal, making above the main roster minimum. So what's our thoughts on Joe Hendry officially being signed to WWE? He did have some time still left on that TNA contract, but according to multiple sources, WWE bought the remainder of his contract.
It wasn't that much. His contract was up in either January or February. It was up very early in 2026. So it wasn't that much time he had left. I speculated that it might have been Joe Hendry showing up on Friday because he signed that Thursday, and I was like, oh, that's convenient. He signed. There's supposed to be a special, opponent, for LA Knight on Friday.
That's what I thought.
Conveniently,
I had that thought as well.
Conveniently, fucking Joe Hendry, signed the day prior. So I thought it was going to be Joe Hendry. I'm kind of glad I was wrong because that would have made that much more predictable than it was. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. I don't know if he's going to be on NXT. I don't know if he's going to be on Raw or SmackDown. I don't know where he's going to be going. He hasn't said anything as far as confirming this news. He has been, tight-lipped, and we haven't even seen him on TV. So I don't know what is going on.
He was just on NXT.
No, he was on NXT. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch.
Yeah,
NXT.
he was. Him and Thea Hale have been doing something together.
So maybe he's on.
They've been
NXT.
going after Ethan.
But
Page,
do you feel like there's going to be some NXT talent that are going to be upset that this guy's coming in? He's making a lot more money than us. With his first WWE contract.
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
I feel like there's going to be some heat on him.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think so because he's been doing it a lot longer than these people in the NXT. Granted, yeah, but also
but there's
just
people.
brings up more competition.
But now here's the thing.
I don't think they're going to be so much mad. They're going to be more motivated than mad.
Look, it's not a personal attack at Joe Hendry because he's fantastic at what he does, but it is going to ruffle some feathers because some of these wrestlers, I think Priscilla Kelly said it, they're only making up to $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's not anything towards Joe Hendry. I just think that NXT talent, we're going to start seeing some of these people that are making not enough money that they should be making demand more money. And I think we're going to get those situations like Jasmine Nix, and we're going to get these situations like Cora Jade who are going to leave NXT because they're not getting paid enough. And I think WWE salary, they're going to have to increase it now that they're bringing in AEW, former AEW wrestlers and former TNA wrestlers, and they're having them go to NXT.
I said this on one of my live streams because somebody else brought up this similar situation. I can't remember like the full context about it, but we were having a discussion one night before. I think it was Raw or SmackDown, and I said that WWE needs to start, maybe only for NXT or people that are like lower on like the pay scale. I think WWE needs to start, supplying their flights, their hotels, their gas.
Exactly, because I don't think it would be a bigger problem.
I wouldn't be an issue. I think they need to start doing that. At least
AEW covers a lot of that
roster. You know what I mean? AEW, Tony Khan covers it all. WWE, it doesn't matter how much money you make on the pay scale. They don't cover your rental cars. They don't cover your flights. They don't cover your hotels. They don't cover your gym memberships. They don't cover your food. They don't cover anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the only thing with AEW, I think with gear, I think the wrestlers have to do that. But that's fair.
Yeah. But they're also making a lot more money.
The flights AEW be like covering that and stuff, which is the right thing to do. Like WWE should be doing that by now. But
AEW,
especially NXT.
AEW, they even the people are lower on the card. They make bank. Tony Khan, we've seen it numerous times where he's not afraid to spend money. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. But I'm happy though overall with Joe Hendry being in WWE. I just think it's the perfect match because Joe Hendry, he's gotten so over with like the presentation of his character, the look, everything about it. Like it screams WWE. And I really hope that they don't fuck this up here because I've been a big fan of Joe Hendry going all the way back to when he was doing the local hero thing in the UK because he was part in the dying days of Impact Wrestling. So I kind of like got invested in him from that. And then I went back on YouTube, watched a lot of those parody videos he was making of like making songs and like dissing wrestlers. And man, I've been such a big fan of Joe Hendry. So to see him finally in WWE, where I believe he's belonged for a very long time, well deserved. And
I believe in Joe.
I really don't think they're gonna fuck this up.
I really do think that they're doing a great thing with teaming up with Thea because them two make the perfect combo. I think they're doing a good job.
I will say they have done a pretty good job with them.
Because honestly, without them pairing together, I didn't know too much about Thea.
Yeah, but if they were going to have Joe Hendry, like I do think he might be in the Rumble. I've said this before, like people are going to expect way too much out of this Rumble. Like it's going to be so hard to
we're only getting Jericho.
There's
only
not going to be
Jericho
a lot of
return.
surprises, man, because like everybody in Saudi Arabia, like they wear a certain kind of clothing or whatever. So people that are outside of that, it'll be very easy to tell like who's a local and who's not.
Yeah, me and my other buddy Dan, that's not on the pod, we were talking about the Rumble, and it's gonna be so weird in the afternoon.
Hell, we could get Brie Bella too.
I don't think so. WWE doesn't want to work with her because her Daniel is all obviously, with AEW and the close ties there or whatever. So they think there's going to be some kind of like weird ass conflict. So they don't want to. That's why they didn't bring Brie in. The original plan was to have both the Bellas. But
I could have saw that happening with the tag titles, but I could definitely see why they probably didn't want to have her. But I do think the door isn't closed for Brie. I think she will be in WWE at some point in 2026.
Yeah.
It'll happen, even with Danielson on commentary at AEW. But let's get into our last weekly news and rumors topic. According to WrestleVotes, WWE and USA Network have decided to move SmackDown back to 3 hours, beginning with the January 2nd show. What's your thoughts on this?
At Buffalo, New York.
Road Dogg's ecstatic.
I feel like...
Oh, wait, real quick. Are you doing pay-per-view on Saturday or Sunday? We're not doing a watch-along for Full Gear.
No. I was originally going to, but it's my daughter's birthday. So
we all kind of double-booked ourselves.
And I can't get AEW, so I'm out of the question.
Wait a minute. Dan Eddy.
What?
If I got AEW Full Gear, would you be able to do a live watch-along?
Honestly, I don't want to at this time because I don't feel like I wouldn't know a lot what's going on, so I wouldn't
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
make an
You'd
entertaining
rather.
watch along.
All right. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would,
No.
if you
I
were to
got
give
you.
me AEW, I would watch it more for myself, and then
All right.
later
So then.
on do a
All
watch
right.
along.
So then, AEW World's End. We're watching it. You and I, live watch
right.
along.
When is
And
that?
because that I believe
It's,
I don't
the
know
end of
sometime in
December.
December.
Okay.
But I think
it's
that
December like 27th
because you're
or
right.
28th.
You're right. Your first
It
one,
wouldn't be as
you
entertaining for
got
the
to do it with
audience.
somebody that's watched AEW. It's got to be somebody that you got to be with somebody that watched it. You're right. So I kind of like that you're not throwing yourself in the sharks. Good for you.
I mean, I'm not doing a death match with John Moxley anytime soon, but I would enjoy watching it. But it wouldn't be as entertaining for our fans. Or
let me tell you, dude, that you
followers.
tapped out chat last night on Dynamite was crazy.
Who tapped out?
Oh, John Moxley in
John
Blood
Moxley
and Guts
tapped
last
out
week.
Oh
on,
yeah, that's
Blood and
right.
Guts.
Just killed a spider. Beautiful.
Nice.
All right, well, let's talk about 3 hours of SmackDown. I fucking hate it. I know you
feel
like it,
like-
Daddy, because you get an extra hour with your fans, the Daddy
Well,
X.
it's good for me because like I make content out of watching the show, you know. So like more hours I get to stream, the more content that's on my channel, the more the more I have potential, for growth or whatever. So like there's some upsides to it, but that doesn't mean I'm necessarily excited about going back to 3 hours because I was very critical about a 3 hour Raw. I was very critical about SmackDown going to.
Yeah, I was
3
about
hours.
to
Like,
say, don't be a hypocrite now.
I'm not a hypocrite, like I love hanging out with my audience and people that like watching my streams and like hanging out with me or whatever, but I'm not necessarily always excited for the show.
Tyrus is definitely the biggest Daddy-ack.
Tyrus is my guy, man. Shout out to Tyrus, man.
I like Tyrus. He's cool.
But I think this is going to be a yearly thing because last January and February, like SmackDown was 3 hours, and then around June or July or whatever, it went back down to 2 hours. So I feel like for the winter months, I feel like every year
because then it gives the network more programming, and then the summertime when people aren't really watching 2 hours.
Yeah,
that makes sense. You're onto something.
I think it's going to be 3 hours until like around June and July. Then it's going to go back to 2, and then next January or whatever, it'll go back to 3, and it's going
to help them book and
like I will say, like during the winter when there's like a snowstorm, people are stuck at home. Like, what else is there to do? Throw on
3
hours, and just just hang out and watch the show, or whatever.
But I think you're onto something though with that because I didn't even think about that. You're right. Like it was 3 hours the like first half of the year, and then it kind of went back to 2 hours, and now it's going to be going back to 3 according to WrestleVotes.
Yep. So that's how I think it's gonna happen. I don't know if Donnie's gonna be doing full gear predictions. Probably not because neither of us are gonna be watching the show.
So Nate Daniel, unfortunately, I don't think I can. If it was on Sunday, I could have probably got it out on Saturday. But with Big Event New York vlog being our biggest vlog of the year here on the channel, it does very well in the algorithm. And we do get the most views, like out of all of our vlogs. Big Event like really draws a lot. So with Big Event vlog happening tomorrow, and then Saturday, probably some SmackDown reactions. I don't see that happening, unfortunately, this time around. And moving forward, we are going to be planning it a lot better. There's been a lot of crazy things going on, which might as well, because it's been like we're at the 2 hour mark here on the pod. Just a quick recap, if you guys weren't here at the beginning of the show, Rage is taking a break from the We Are Wrestling pod and his content because there's things going on in his personal life that he needs to focus on that's more important than this. And with that happening this week, me going out to Long Island, New York all weekend long for Big Event New York, House of Glory, then AEW Dynamite. Tickets I totally forgot me and my buddy got months ago. Going to have to do that on Wednesday, and then not really having anybody to do the show on Wednesday, and then doing it today on a Thursday. That's why we can't really do the predictions, because let's say it was a normal week. Wednesday, we do our pod like we always do. Every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to get back on track next week, ladies and gentlemen. But if we did it on a Wednesday, Thursday, I would have gotten you the predictions. It would have been out today. But with the pod being today, not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe if we have some extra time towards the end of the show, like we don't have to go in depth about like the matches, but maybe we could just say like, okay, we have this person winning next.
I don't really feel like the show is going to be overly exciting. It's definitely going to be one of the weaker pay-per-views.
Oh, I don't know. I think the match card looks pretty good.
I mean, there's certain matches on there's certain matches on the show that I'm looking forward to. Like I'm looking forward to Joe and Hangman in a cage. I'm looking forward to Kyle O'Reilly and Mox. But like, I do think the Young Bucks are gonna end up turning babyface and siding with Kenny Omega. But like they didn't really do anything last night to like get me overly excited and like push the narrative of we have a massive pay-per-view on Saturday.
What do you mean, man? We got Darby versus Pac. That's gonna be a good one.
Well, yeah.
Every week there has to be some sort of mentioning about Darby.
Darby,
the way you are with Jade, motherfucker.
I don't bring her up. You guys do. I disagree.
FTR versus Brodito should be a good match.
You brought her up
FTR,
this week.
man. Like
I bring her Roxanne every week. That's
You're always at the scene of the crime, Dan.
Hey. I'm just enjoying being here. All right, leave me alone.
And I love having you here. I love getting the shit on. Another person.
I usually go live like an hour before SmackDown on Fridays. So tomorrow at the beginning of my stream, I might do a quick little like rundown of Full Gear and give my predictions or whatever. Because I might still watch it. I did say even if I'm not doing a watch along, I might either go live on Sunday or post a pre-recorded review of the show, just like go over like the results and
well, I think the show's on Saturday.
Well, I know, but I'm gonna be busy Saturday, so I might post a video on Sunday. So
I see.
It's got a birthday party to go to, bro.
Very important birthday, 13th.
Yeah. I know, bro. Shit's crazy. I'm old as fuck. I'm old as dirt.
Yeah, you are.
I went to high school with a T-Rex.
All right, that's a good segue.
The best moment last night on Dynamite for me was Luchasaurus coming out with a goddamn vacuum cleaner.
Dude, the vacuum cleaner was fucking epic. Yeah, Luchasaurus came out with the vacuum cleaner because Kenny Omega, he calls himself the cleaner. Get it? That's a dad joke right there for you, Dan.
I do love
that's a knee slapper. Why did I know? Like, why did I have a feeling, Danny, you were gonna do the knee slap? That's why I didn't do it.
I don't know.
All right, we're going off the railroad tracks here. With that being said, let's get into the getting put over segment. That's not happening this week. So just to let you guys know, with all the chaos that's happened that I just ranted about a few minutes ago, we have not done enough research to really put over EC3. So we won't be putting them over next week, but we will be putting them over the week after in episode 185. But next week, we're going to be doing something new because with the big 5 PLEs, we want to go back and rewatch a classic one and then kind of talk about the matches and stuff.
Did you guys do this before?
We've never done this. This is brand new.
This is brand new, man.
So, just so you guys know, the Maniacs, next week, next Wednesday, we are going to be putting over Survivor Series 2005. So, you guys have 6 days to watch Survivor Series 05. It is on Peacock, and we're going to talk about it here on the show. And I think it's going to be a fun new approach to the getting put over. So, I'm excited.
I think it's going to be fun.
And next week's show, obviously, we're going to be doing our full predictions for WWE Survivor Series. And I cannot wait because we're going to be crowning a new We Are Wrestling champion.
Recrowning the old champion.
Yep.
I mean, it's just going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
It will be fun. But now, with that being said, let's get into the We Are Wrestling podcast main event topic. Oh, man, we got lots of information here because recently, this past week, Tony Khan went on Ariel Helwani's show. And this was some breaking news because in case you guys have been hiding under a rock and you don't really follow like the media and AEW, Tony Khan and Ariel, they kind of had a little bit of a falling out. in 2023. There were some disagreements that happened, and they both kind of buried the hatchet, and Tony Khan went on his show, and we haven't really heard a lot of things from Tony Khan recently until this very show, because Ariel does a very good job at getting us the details that we talk about here on the show, which there's a lot to go over here. So I'm just going to go over each thing I have. And then if you guys want to chime in, give your thoughts, feel free. I'll pause reading. But here we go. Tony Khan isn't worried about the new ownership at Warner Brothers Discovery affecting AEW and their current television deal that they have with Warner Brothers. Tony Khan believes the WWE counter programming is done on purpose, but hasn't cost AEW anything. How do you feel about that, Danny? Because I feel like it kind of cost them a little bit.
I don't think so, because TK kind of explained it a little bit, like, throughout history, there've always been counter programming, whether it was, WCW and giving away the results on Monday Night Raw when Mick Foley won the world title, or, even like back in the Smoky Mountain days or whatever, there've always been counter programming when it comes to pro wrestling, because it's a very competitive thing. Everybody wants to be number one at the end of the day. And I kind of do feel like, in a way, it's kind of benefited AEW a little bit, because I like the fact that their shows started earlier, especially with All Out, in the afternoon, because say AEW starts a pay-per-view at 8 o'clock at night, it doesn't end until fucking almost 12:30 at night. You know what I mean? I'd much rather the shows start early and end early. That way you can watch a show. It's easy.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. I love afternoon. I love afternoon PLEs for the most part.
So I understand where he's coming from.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like with AEW, he is smart for making them in the afternoon and not going head to head with WWE at the same time. So yeah, I could kind of agree with you on that take.
I can't remember
looking at it from your perspective. I kind of agree.
It might have been all in, but he did go head to head with the NXT PLE, I think, because they had NXT PLE, and then that night they had Saturday night's main event or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well. Also,
it was during the WWE Evolution too, that same weekend.
Yeah, that was the following day.
Yep. They were going head to head with NXT. Good looks on that. Tony Khan doesn't regret airing the backstage fight between CM Punk and Jack Perry, stating the tape speaks for itself, but wanted things to work out with everybody, which is why he started Collision with CM Punk having the Elite on Dynamite, trying to keep everybody in place. Which I can kind of get Tony Khan not regretting it, because we all heard CM Punk's side of it, but we never really got to see the footage. Yep. I will say it definitely affected AEW for quite a while, and I think they're finally starting to get they're finally cleaning up that fire.
That rating
traction
couldn't put out.
That Dynamite that the footage was showed on, what hit? I think the max number it hit was 800,000 viewers that night.
Mm-hmm.
Since that episode aired, they have not even come close. On their 6th anniversary show a couple months ago, bro, they only had 450,000 viewers.
Yeah, well, that was World Series, NBA coming back.
There's World Series is on every single fucking year, bro. What happened to 2-3 years ago when they were pulling close to 1 million? What, there was no World Series that year? Yeah,
maybe you should have the anniversary somewhere else.
You really can't use that as an excuse, though, because it happens every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't use that as an excuse.
That's true. But also, Tony Khan during this interview couldn't really fully speak on the Andrade and Chris Jericho situation, but says the door is always open for both guys. Obviously, Andrade, he's going through some legal stuff, like breaching the contract, might not be able to compete in pro wrestling for over a year. Chris Jericho, I'm surprised he couldn't really talk about that much. That kind of threw me off a little bit.
Jericho's 100% WWE bound, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He said that he would like Jericho.
The photo with him and Kevin Owens.
Oh my god.
He sounded like he sounded like, he said, he would love to have Jericho back in AEW at some point. he wasn't like, oh no, Jericho's on the contract, he'll be back soon,
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
I kind of Angelo
He
makes a good
kind of
point here.
avoided the question, to be honest.
Sounds like see you next time Jericho to me. And anytime he does the see you next time, they end up leaving and they show up in WWE. So I think it confirms it even more that we are like, this is gonna be the worst kept secret when Jericho shows up.
Bro, how are they gonna keep him hidden in Saudi Arabia, man? He's a fucking white dude with long blonde hair.
He's a rock and roll star.
Exact, like, he's. How is he gonna be a kept secret? The minute he's spotted at an airport, people are gonna fucking, unless he's sitting there with like a fucking monk, fucking like has like a bald cap and like goes like the whole nine and dressed like a fucking monk.
Jericho would do that though. That's the thing. Which shout out to all 60 We Are Wrestling Maniacs in here. We're live on X. We're live on YouTube.
60?
Appreciate all the love and support. Very consistent numbers for a Thursday. So we really appreciate all the loyal maniacs here.
Thank you guys.
Because I didn't know how this was going to go on a Thursday.
I don't think
we have such a good fan base.
As far as like, could they end up dressing in Saudi Arabia wear? Like, I don't know if that's like a
dress in the Saudi wear.
Like, if you're not Saudi Arabian or you're not from there, dressing in what they dress in, I don't know if that's like, considered illegal or derogatory, or I don't know.
I don't know. That's a political thing, and we don't cover political things here. We cover wrestlers, two men wrestling in underwear, pretty much. That's what we do here. But Tony Khan shared that.
Did you hear Matt Cardona probably shit his pants during the fucking powerbomb against LA Knight on Friday?
I'm not surprised by that at all.
Nope.
He's always ready. Tony Khan shared that he and Rusev had different visions and ideas for AEW when it came to his character. The reason it didn't work the reason why it didn't work out, but he's happy that he is back in WWE.
I am too.
Which, I'm not surprised by that because Rusev did disappear for quite a while in AEW TV. And I remember one week on the pod, there was news about Tony Khan wanting Rusev to put somebody else over, but Rusev felt like it was discrediting him. And that's why he refused to do it. Which that happens a lot of the times. We've seen it with plenty of superstars throughout the years. But more news.
I think with him being in WWE, he's already had better booking than the entire time he's been in AEW.
I don't know, because I did like his TNT title run.
I mean, he'll get a title eventually.
Somebody said Keith Lee is close to coming back, but I have no idea. I feel like that ship is fucking sailed. They still haven't followed up to when fucking Swerve kicked the fucking did the fucking coup de grace into the cinder block on his chest.
Also, another thing now too, Tony Khan shared what the future holds for Adam Cole when it comes to in-ring, but stated there's always a role for him in the company. So he couldn't really give insight on what happened with the incident, but with Adam Cole, pretty much talking about saying he wants him to stay at AEW, even if it's in like a backstage role or producer role, which I'm not surprised by that because Adam Cole and him are good friends.
I could see Adam Cole having the kind of role in AEW that like a Biggie has in WWE, to where
he's as an ambassador.
He's on he's an ambassador. He's on the pre-shows. He's on, he does like media for the company or whatever.
That'd be entertaining.
I could see him doing something like
that.
Maybe
pre-shows?
Commentary. I could see him, fucking get Tony Schiavone and Excalibur out of there and fucking have Danielson and fucking Adam Cole. I mean, I'd be fucking fired.
Or he could do what he despised, like what WWE tried to have him do. He could be a manager for somebody.
I don't necessarily think it was him not wanting to be a manager for somebody. They wanted him to cut his hair. They didn't want him to.
Yeah, they wanted to pretty much change his whole persona, his whole character, kind of like what they did with LA Knight with the whole Max Dupree thing.
Yep.
But TK also hopes that Will Ospreay will be back during the first half of 2026.
So this one is a little.
Share your thoughts on this real quick. I'll be right back.
This one is a little fishy, because there was an update recently from the rehab clinic or whatever that is helping Will Ospreay after his surgery. and they posted. I can't remember the context, so I'm not gonna be able to do it verbatim. But they said, the time is almost ready. Something else, and then January 2026. That got everybody speculating that, oh my God, is Will Ospreay coming back in January? I believe he had like I can't remember what kind of surgery it was. But that got everybody speaking like, oh, maybe Will Ospreay will be back in January. Part of me doesn't think that's gonna happen. But
he ain't gonna be back in January.
He had surgery for his 2 herniated discs. I don't know what the surgery is called
Donnie,
for.
I was just referencing and talking about the rehab clinic or whatever that's helping Will Ospreay. And they posted, the time is almost ready or whatever, and then it's January 2026.
Oh, so that's no, that can't happen.
I didn't think
unless the surgery wasn't as severe.
I don't know why else the rehab clinic or the doctor would post that. I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe to get some publicity.
Maybe.
I mean, that's a weird fucking way.
But this is something that we could really talk about here. That's main event worthy. Tony Khan talked about the photo with CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jade Cargill, and Ricky Starks as champions in WWE, and it made him smile, and it reminded him of Double or Nothing in 2020 when Cody Rhodes and Jon Moxley took a photo, which is in this graphic right here.
Yep. AEW will never be that good again. It's sad, the state that AEW is currently in. But I mean, I understand where he's coming from. Is I don't know. I don't know if I'd be happy about the
It makes me kind of sad. You know why it makes me sad? Because obviously half of those people in the photo hate Tony Khan. But Tony Khan still appreciates them.
Yeah.
And you could tell Tony Khan, he's not just saying it to get good publicity. I think he wears his heart on his sleeve. He generally means what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just didn't work out for those 4 individuals that were in the picture with him.
Him looking at the picture is sort of just whenever you see a Dolph Ziggler promo, when he's like, it should have been me. I feel like that's kind of how Tony Khan feels right now.
Bro, I still go back on my statement, what I said a couple weeks ago. I was like, WWE might as well get rid of the Performance Center or whatever and just use AEW as,
I've been saying that for the longest time.
A way of, getting talent or whatever,
Yeah.
Yep. It's true. But honestly, I do believe Tony Khan, though, when he does say that, he's happy that they're doing good. Because Tony Khan has always been somebody, even Maven said it on his channel, because during his time in WWE, in Gorilla, they didn't give a fuck once you were back there. But with Tony Khan, every single person, he would go up to them, shake their hand, hug them, thank them for what they've done. So I do believe he is generally happy, and I do believe that when he says he does have the best locker room since the whole Daly's place in 2020, I believe that. And Tony Khan believes in his guys. And that's something that he's always done throughout his AEW run as the president. He's always believed in everybody that's on his roster. And that's why I think we see a lot of AEW guys that do get thrown into the deep end and they swim because Tony Khan's not afraid to take that risk. While Triple H, on the other hand, that's my number one critique with his booking. He's afraid to throw people in that ocean and let them sink or swim. He gives Braun Breaker a life jacket. We don't need that. We don't need that. Just let the man swim. You got to take that risk. And
I feel like Tony Khan has so much talent on his roster that he
doesn't know what to do with it.
He doesn't know what to do with it. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
It's like a little kid first walk into a candy store, doesn't know what to buy first.
He also, in the same interview, I don't know if you bypassed it, if we're going to be getting into it. I can't remember what part of the interview it was, but he also did say that he's hoping to have Britt Baker back on TV soon.
Let's hope. I don't think it's looking good. I think she wants out. which honestly, don't blame her. And she's done everything she could in AEW.
I feel like the downfall was her breaking up, or her and Adam Cole breaking up and splitting up, because it just doesn't,
Yeah, but her downfall too was the altercation that she got in with MJF and his wife.
That's why I kind of feel like, Britt Baker, like that whole shit that was going on with Thunder Rosa, like I kind of see where people are coming from when they blame Britt Baker for.
No, that's fucking Thunder Rosa. Straight up. I can tell you that. How do I know? I'm not gonna quote her on it. I'm not gonna throw names out there, but former Day One AEW women's wrestler who I got the opportunity to meet at Zombie Hideout. She told me all about the whole incident between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. And yeah, you would be quite surprised. But now with the new women that are in AEW, when it comes to the backstage, like politics, drama, a lot of them are more on Thunder Rosa's side, and she has more friends than she did Day One. Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be politics in pro wrestling. It's not as bad as it used to be with Vince running things, but that's just the name of the game. Because everybody wants to be the world champion. Everybody wants to be the best. And that's what happens. And that's why Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, they always clash heads. But Tony Khan also said he would love to reconnect with Killer Cross. And he hasn't talked to him in years, which I wouldn't mind seeing Killer Cross in AEW.
What I got from that segment was Killer Cross is good, but we're not interested in him. And I got that because since Killer Cross left WWE, he's gone on this promotional tour talking about how much he
oh my god, all the
WWE.
lines because I've been going to like all these conventions and stuff, and he's been there, and his lines have been so long. Like, I'm kind of glad I met him when I did Silver Scream Con, because the line was not as long day one of that on the Friday than like going to Rhode Island Comic Con or big event. Like, he had the lines. Yeah. It was impressive.
But like, I don't think he's going to be coming into AEW. But I mean, I could be wrong. If he does, he did say, him and Scarlett did say, like, the place we want to be right now is WWE. But if we ever do go to AEW, we will be flying the AEW flag, as our last contract.
And be an AEW
we'll be riding hard for that company. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like, they still want to go back to WWE.
Yeah, and I think that's also why Tony Khan probably isn't interested in him right now, because he's been there, he's done that. He's signed lots of former WWE guys that ended up, he gave them an opportunity, and then as soon as they got the opportunity to go back to WWE and they got more money, they took it.
Yeah, I think along with that too is how you guys were just saying earlier, Tony Khan has got so much talent that he doesn't know what to do with it. I think Killer Cross or Karrion Cross will just get thrown into the mix, sort of just like Angela was saying just now. I was thinking the same thing right before I saw that comment. As far as him going to AEW, I think you and Rage would be ecstatic, Donnie. You'll probably take off work. You'd be so happy.
I would be, honestly, like, dude, I could see Killer Cross. Like, if there's any promotion that he's gonna go to, it's gonna 1000% be either New Japan Pro Wrestling or TNA Wrestling. I think TNA, if they get that TV deal and they get that money, he makes his debut first TV, TV.
I could see Killer Cross.
I would Rage not be happy.
Oh, he wouldn't be happy if he showed up in AEW, because
he doesn't like AEW. He doesn't like AEW. Sure. I could see Scarlett and Killer Cross going to TNA, and I could have the Righteous join them.
Ooh, no, I want the Righteous to be with Elias, because those little vignettes that they posted or earlier this year, that was so good.
Who's to say Killer Cross can't be with them? Like, I feel like
the leader of the Righteous.
Like that. I feel like they need a group like that.
That'd be kind of sick, actually.
I think he needs to do a solo run though first. He's been doing a lot of groups.
I agree.
His last few runs with WWE were with,
I want to just be with Scarlett.
The Final Testament with that one guy that had absolutely nothing to do with
I just feel like Killer Cross, like, he's really great, but I feel like he's that much better working if he has somebody to work off of. You know what I mean?
Scarlett.
So like him being in a group setting, you know what I mean? Like
I don't know, man.
He
I
could
liked
be
him.
like
I
a-
liked him.
I
with
can
the
see your
Scarlett.
point, Dan. I can see your point
I
by
see-
going into a new promotion. Yeah, he could probably feed off of like a group setting, like being in a new area. But I think to get the best out of him, people know him. People know him as Karrion Kross. They know him from AEW and WWE. I think a solo run first, kind of like how they brought in Rusev to WWE. They didn't like have him team up with anybody. They didn't have him team up with the Vision. Ooh, have him join the Vision. Anyways, the way they brought in Rusev at WWE, I think it's the same way with Karrion Kross in like say TNA. But I can see that working. I was like, I'm not.
I could just
kinda,
picture on
I'm
like
not
a
totally
TNA.
disagreeing.
I could just picture on like a TNA episode or whatever, like the lights go out and the Righteous and Elias just get in the ring and absolutely fucking destroy somebody.
Ooh, I like this question.
And you
what-
see Cross and just Scarlett just standing on the top of the stage or whatever, and that's how you end the episode. And just like people be like, "What the fuck?"
Dude, that's what they should do if they're gonna get that TV deal. That'd be a great cliffhanger, and that would make people want to tune in. Like, obviously, everyone's gonna tune into the first episode, but like, if you want
Not
us to
even-
get tuned into the second episode, like, they
not
gotta
even
do something like
show
that.
Scarlett's face, just have like the silhouette of her and then end the episode. Kind of like how they did with Obafemi at the end of NXT a couple weeks back.
But last Killer Cross question, and then we'll move on. Do you think they are trying to make Black and Zelina, Karrion and Scarlett 2.0?
No, I don't.
I don't think so either.
They were two different characters. Black has been this kind of character.
There's
since
similarities,
NXT
but I don't
Black
think
and
so.
Gold. You know what I mean? So, like, if let's say let's say Black was a different version of himself before, I would be he automatically became like this darker character. I'd be like, okay, that's kind of weird that
They just kind of just added Zelina to it.
But like Aleister Black has always been this dark kind of character, whatever. So he's being the person he's always been. That's just, since he was Tommy End on the Indies. You know what I mean? So there's similarities, but I don't think they're trying to make a Karrion Kross and Scarlett 2.0. I don't.
Oh yeah, no, everybody's been trying to put that out there, and like they didn't really tweak or change anything with Aleister. They just added Zelina to it to kind of just add some more aura to the character. And Zelina has had, but here's the thing: Zelina's also had a great track record of working with people and them getting to that next level. Andrade and NXT.
The best Andrade's been is people
with
say
Zelina.
when Zelina
Didn't quite work with Humberto and them, but
yeah, it didn't. But like even with her and Ray, like it kind of helped her get as a regular singles competitor for a little bit. But then it kind of got a little stale because she was losing matches and stuff.
It just kind of fizzled out, yeah.
But Karrion, that's going to be Killer Cross to AEW. That's going to be interesting. I do think realistically it will be TNA eventually, but I think right now he is just living off the high right now of his WWE run. That a lot of people like myself are very frustrated that it didn't go the way we wanted it to.
There's no way he doesn't at some point go back to WWE. I feel like because even if Triple H doesn't want to do something, it's been proven that if the fans really want it, that he's gonna make it happen. Like, I mean, look at the R-Truth thing,
Mm-hmm. But our last Tony Khan, Ariel Helwani headliner. This was the big headliner that everybody's talking about, and we even put it in our thumbnail, of course, for this week's episode. That's on a Thursday. Weirdly, Tony Khan said WWE never asked about using Adam Copeland for John Cena's retirement tour.
Bullshit.
I'm not surprised at all by this.
I can't remember if he actually said that.
I said it.
I feel like Tony Khan, his response was, Adam Copeland is a great wrestler for AEW, and if Mr. Cena would, extend his retirement, then maybe after Copeland's contract ends with us, that could be a possibility. but Copeland is overseas right now filming a movie.
Yeah.
And that he's expected back on AEW very soon. I feel like not verbatim, but I feel like that's how the question was laid out and how the question was answered. I don't think he was like
That's
outright,
somehow
like, WWE hasn't asked.
That's somehow the like he phrased it. He's like, it's unfortunate that he's out filming right now, but he would love to have him back as soon as he's done. I am saying I'm gonna die in this hill, even if I'm wrong, I'll eat my words. There's still a chance Edge can be John Cena's final opponent. Opponent.
I wish I had that courage to say
you could
that.
have somebody qualify and then him get taken out by somebody or whatever. And then
I said that last week. Whoever went to tournament, they've done the fake injury already this year. So people.
Although I don't see that happening to Gunther. I don't see Gunther going for that because that's a big moment.
I don't want Gunther. I don't want Gunther. As much as I love Gunther as a wrestler, I don't want.
I don't see Gunther being in this tournament if he's gonna lose though. That's my thing. Who's gonna lose? A fucking
John Cena? Guys, John Cena is going to put over whoever is facing him in this final match. He's an old school guy.
Donnie, is the last show last appearance that John Cena is. Me and Danny were talking while you were gone. He's going to do a bunch of exhibition matches to help show the new talent.
It's going to be
that's what you were saying.
Just a bunch.
You were saying that a few weeks ago, Donnie. You were saying that a few weeks ago, Donnie, that John Cena would like to face somebody to help being put over, just like how he was with Kurt Angle. That this angle opens the door even more to have, say, Edge or say somebody that. Well,
no, it doesn't. It's gonna. The only NXT talent that they've had in this tournament have already been disqualified because they lost.
Yeah, there really isn't anybody that's like in John Cena's position that he was in with Kurt Angle in 02.
Those are the people we have. We have LA Knight, we have Solo Sikoa, we have Gunther, and we have Jey Uso.
Call me crazy.
Final entrance?
Call me crazy, but dude, maybe Javon Evans should have won this.
He should have. Or
because they could have done the Kurt Angle John Cena thing with
maybe
them
not
too.
Put him in a match with Gunther, but have him against somebody else and
of
have
course.
him go over.
Wait, Carmelo Hayes is in this tournament, right?
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes. I forgot about him.
I wouldn't mind Carmelo being that guy.
I think Carmelo Hayes is facing Bronson Reed.
Oh, fuck! Are you kidding me?
No.
Why? And then Miz is just gonna fucking.
Although I kind of think Carmelo Hayes is gonna go over because Bronson Reed's gonna be too busy worrying about War Games. Why is he gonna worry about this?
If there's anybody that should win this tournament, honestly, that's in it right now, it should be Carmelo Hayes.
I think so too. I can agree with that.
Torch.
They kind of screwed themselves in the foot by getting rid of Dolph Ziggler, ZACK RYDER, and Jatavian. Is it Javion?
Javon.
I don't know why I'm messing this up so much. They got rid of those guys. The reason why I'm saying it's Edge is there's just been so much history between the two, and why not have that very, like, it's going to be an iconic match, just much like with Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair back in that, I think, WrestleMania.
But you have to realize John Cena, there's a reason why, like, he wants NXT guys to be on this final show.
But Cena
has said this throughout the entire farewell tour. He wants to leave WWE better than he.
I recommend you guys, after we get off here, it's like 19 minutes long. I recommend you guys watch the episode of Raw Recap with Cena from Monday.
Why? What was he saying?
He just talked about, why he's leaving and why it's the right time to leave, and saying that he doesn't want to leave, but he feels like he has no choice but to leave. And
he doesn't want to be a shell.
Sam Roberts and Megan Moran were pretty much like glazing him, talking about how great he was or whatever. And he was like, that's all fine and good, but there's always gonna be somebody better than me. And so it's only 19 minutes. It's an easy,
I'll watch it.
It's on WWE.
I got nothing to do besides watch football then, anyways. Going back to, I'm not gonna get rid of my opinion until that bell rings and the final opponent is in the ring with John Cena.
I got going strong, bro.
John Cena has been a person for the fans over 20 years. Now, granted, his heel turn sucked ass, and they changed it because the fans love John Cena, and John Cena's always been in the top, like CM Punk has been saying, was saying in that Monday Night Raw post show kind of deal when they went off air. The perfect way for him to send them off is to do a match, and his final match that is one for the fans, and that's why Edge is such a big name. Like I said, if it's not Edge, I'll eat my words, but I'm still standing on that hill.
Hey, we'll see what happens, but I will say, like, getting back into our topic now with Tony Khan basically saying WWE never asked. I could have said this months ago to you guys, and I believe I did say this. Triple H and WWE believe that they have the talent to have John Cena can have that perfect final opponent. They believe that they don't need to have Edge at all during this farewell tour because they have enough people. They view Brock Lesnar just as good as Edge. They view Randy Orton's feud with Cena just
but not many of them had the
CM
kind of
Punk's.
story and the rivalry with Edge that
look,
they've had.
I agree. I'm just saying it from WWE's perspective, from Triple H's side of it. He believes that he has the talent to give John Cena the proper farewell tour, even though he should have been doing service for the fans and they should have done a deal. They could have worked a deal out. And I still stand on business, even though I got a lot of shit for it, because I know We Are Wrestling clipped it. But Vince McMahon would have found a way to do it for John Cena, because he had too much love, too much respect for that man, for everything he did for his company. He would have found a way to have Edge versus Cena, whether it was at SummerSlam, whether it was at Monday Night Raw, something. He would have figured out a way to do it.
Saturday night's main event is going to be wild because there's reports that Vince McMahon might show up. Donald Trump is going to be there. Like, it's going to be such a wild situation.
It is a wild situation.
I feel like that's going to be the most viewed WWE stream of the last 10 years. Easy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But, overall, anything else you guys want to say before we close off this week's episode?
I think that the Tony Khan answer to the question about Adam Copeland is just a smokescreen. I was just going to add.
My God.
I think that he didn't want to answer anything related to Edge or Adam Copeland at the time until it gets closer to Saturday night's main event. And then the news is going to start coming out through the woodworks, a little bit at a time. Like, oh, yeah, Edge was contacted, or Triple H did reach out, or Tony Khan is in talks with WWE. Something like that.
Well, wait, real quick, guys. I have a really good clip question that we have to use as a clip. Angelo, this is the perfect way to end the show. Do you think Vince would have booked Cena's run better than Triple H did?
Triple GTP, man.
Honestly, yeah. I think so too. Because if you go throughout this entire year with John Cena's main events or PLEs, they kind of used up all his final opponents. Like they did Randy Orton, I believe, twice. They've done Brock Lesnar, and that was a squash. They've done CM Punk. Like all the big names were earlier in the year. And now when they did the heel turn, they kind of realized that they fucked up and made him become babyface again because that's what the fans wanted. And they weren't really doing a fan service with John Cena's retirement tour. They were just kind of booking and being honestly petty as hell by changing the date of his last match to Washington, D.C. because of money, 100% full of money. And the matches that he's done, speaking of Brock Lesnar, that shouldn't have been a match. Like, to be if they were going to do anything with Brock Lesnar in the future or whatever, maybe. If maybe they were going to have John Cena join War Games and face Brock Lesnar with the Vision, maybe that would have made sense. But as far as the booking goes, I feel like there could have been a lot better things that they could have done. And so as much as I don't like the guy per se, Vince McMahon does booking pretty well. Oh, and one more thing. I despise not despise. Well, strongly hate the slow burn cooking in Triple H's booking.
Me too.
It's just let us get that, fruition feeling. Let us get that, oh my gosh feeling, not wait 6 more months and then tie the two knots together. Like, oh yeah, you remember this feud with so-and-so back in day?
So you believe Vince would book it better than Triple H?
Yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts on this, Danny, because I know how you strongly feel about Triple H, and I know definitely how you strongly feel about Vince McMahon.
In Vince's later years, like up until the time he got taken out, I don't think he could have done any better because, I want to say from like 2014 to like maybe 2018, 2019, like WWE was at the lowest point they've ever been, as far as creative, as far as like viewership. Like nobody liked what Vince McMahon was doing creatively. So I don't see how Vince would have been able to do any better. You know what I mean? He just, he at one point he was really good at it, and then as he got older, he got out of touch with what the fans wanted, and he started booking kind of like what Tony Khan does. He books for himself and fucks everybody else. If you don't like it, eat shit, go fuck yourself.
The Lesnar Roman Reigns matches for years, yeah.
Exactly. It almost seemed like, he would do rematches every week because he'd forget, like, what matches were on the show last week? Oh, I don't know. Just book this one. Like, like it almost like he forgot what matches he booked week to week. So I honestly can't say with 100% facts that he would have been able to do any better.
I think Vince would have done a better job than Triple H, and there's only one reason. Vince would have never turned John Cena heel during this farewell tour because Vince would have saw it a mile away.
That wasn't Triple H's idea, though. That was something that that John Cena and The Rock brought to Triple H, as far as I know. That wasn't a Triple H.
Like I said, it doesn't matter if The Rock, John Cena, Travis Scott, a TKO executive, Vince McMahon would have had that final say, and he would have said, John, this is a bad idea, especially during your farewell tour.
Yeah.
Pull that comment up real quick, because I actually really believe this, man. You have to remember, Triple H.
You got to read the comment. The audio listeners can't see it.
Trips is not in charge. So many deals, and the content direction is like TKO and Pritchard are politically doing the choices, and Trips only acts like a TV ambassador. I've been saying this for a long time, bro. Like, Triple H has so many different people that he has to answer to now. It's not like he has to answer just his father-in-law, to where, Vince, might let him get away with a thing or two here and there. Like, he is so underneath a microscope, and because he is head booker, head creative, all the faults, everything that happens to WWE on TV falls in the lap of Triple H.
And I don't feel sorry at all about that.
When I think it's really
Triple H put himself in that, he put himself in that position.
All these other assholes.
Yeah, but Triple H put himself in that position. And exactly, Angelo, it happened, and Vince would have said no. Vince would have never let John Cena turn heel, and that's why I believe Vince would have done a better job with Cena's farewell tour because he has too much love, too much respect for John.
You have to remember,
Triple H has love and respect for him, but not to Vince's level.
After the heel turn happened, everybody was like comparing it to Hogan's heel turn in WCW.
Okay, they made a moment, but they didn't.
Such a mass. Yeah, but
okay, they made a moment.
The thing is, it's not.
What did they do after the moment?
The heel turn. It was the follow up. That's the issue that everybody has. The follow up of the heel turn. It wasn't.
And then he had a shitty fucking match with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
Donnie, let me ask you a question.
Matches.
Donnie, let me ask you a question. For as far as like when Danny was talking about with Triple H and TKO and being like the face of everything that's going behind in the corporation, do you think WWE back then, when Vince McMahon was the head of creative, was that WWE back then at a lower level compared to the WWE now that we see this today with TKO and the whole new corporation worldwide, because we're having WrestleMania at Saudi Arabia. Like, that would have probably never happened.
Would have never let that happen.
Yeah. So with all these new, promotions, new companies investing.
You could say what you want. He would have never let that happen.
Do you think Vince would have done all of this compared to this day?
So what I think with Vince's booking, like a lot of people want to say like the worst years, like you said, Danny, were like 2014 to like 2018, 2019. Yeah, it was a very hard time to watch wrestling, which is why a lot of us started falling out of love with it. And then we found Kenny Omega, we found the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, and the whole Bullet Club. That's how a lot of people got back into pro wrestling, was through All In, before it was All Elite Wrestling. And I do think there was still some highlights in those bad years of Vince McMahon. But I think a lot of people don't talk about it because overall, the show wasn't as good as it could be. And I say this all the time. Triple H and Vince McMahon, they have their pros, they have their cons. But I still, to this day, believe, like a lot of these former WWE writers like Vince Russo, these former guys like Jim Cornette, and former wrestlers that have these podcasts, I do think Vince is a better booker overall than Triple H. Yes, he was getting out of touch with reality, but you have to remember the bloodline, that was a part of Vince, because Triple H wasn't running things until a little bit after. Triple H did do some really cool things in there, but Vince did have the blueprint. Him and Roman. I'm not going to say just Vince.
Triple H definitely kept the bloodline storyline going, but yeah, that was Vince's idea.
But the blueprint was Vince.
I want to answer this question from Angelo real
Hogan
quick.
Was Vince. Cena was Vince.
Angelo says, but the heel turn should have never happened just for a moment and is cheap.
Thank you, Angelo.
It wasn't supposed to be like that. The Rock pulled out last minute and decided he didn't want to fucking continue with it.
Travis Scott's fault.
That's where the fucking downfall happened, bro.
Travis Scott's fault.
It was never the fucking heel turn. It was
the moment was great
after the follow-up of the heel turn.
But here's the thing though. This is a reoccurring pattern with Triple H's booking. He always knows how to create such a great defining moment. You know why? Because throughout his entire career, he's had those defining moments. One of them that sticks out to me, his return to Monday Night Raw 2002.
I was just going to bring that up.
How to make a defining moment. But here's the problem with his booking. He makes that defining moment, and then he has nothing to follow it up. Vince, at least with Vince, he looks at the pros, he looks at the cons, and he looks at it from different perspectives. You can hate the guy all you want. I am not the biggest fan of Vince McMahon at all. But when it comes to booking,
I ain't either.
When it comes to booking, I'm sorry. He would have booked, dude, going back to the question, Vince would have booked Cena's farewell so much better than Triple H. So much better.
I feel like there needs to be an extra episode just for this topic.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but like, we're at the end of the day, we're never going to fucking find out.
We're never going to. And that's one of the things, even with our Getting Put Over segment, that's why we do the what if scenarios. Because all of us wrestling fans that are passionate about the sport, us wrestling marks, we have these what ifs that run through our heads.
Yeah.
It's true. We are wrestling marks.
Yep.
But great question, Angelo. Great question, even though we got a little off topic. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we're going to be going back to every Wednesday starting next week with a special Survivor Series episode where we're going to share our predictions. We're going to put over Survivor Series 2005, which you can watch on Peacock. So we do highly recommend doing that. So when we do put over 05, I'll probably watch it this weekend. But so that you guys know what we're talking about, watch Survivor Series 05. But we do have a couple vlogs if you guys haven't checked them out. We got WWE Fans First Indie Wrestling Show. Rod Money, part of the We Are Wrestling crew. He will be at the Survivor Series watch along. He went to his very first indie show, which was Blitzkrieg. And my God, what a vlog. Rod Money, MVP. We're going to advertise that for the rest of the year because that's how good
If you guys haven't watched it yet, just to preface it, I watched it and I was crying. I laughed so hard the entire vlog. First Indies vlog.
Imagine trying to edit the
Rod Money's gold. Danny was the one that edited it.
Bro.
You did? I thought it was great.
Nope. That was Daddy.
I had to keep every single moment with Rod Money in. Like I couldn't cut anything of him out. That's why the vlog is like an hour and 40 minutes or something.
It's
It
too
was like
good.
you guys filmed a fucking movie, man.
The fact that he was catcalling that female wrestler.
My cousin.
My cousin.
But we also have the
Everybody was a
TNA
cousin.
Bound for Glory vlog. If you guys haven't checked that out, that's up on the channel as well. And yeah, if you guys want to rewatch AEW Dynamite, myself and Dan the Man were there. We'll have a whole vlog coming out in a couple weeks. Even a Rhode Island Comic-Con vlog over on the Best One Donnie channel. You can check that out. And also tomorrow, biggest vlog of the year, the big event, New York. And just for this episode, because we're about to be 3 hours in, I'm going to show you guys the first 30 seconds of the big event New York vlog.
Ooh.
Here we go. Oh, shit. What the hell's going on? All right, there we go. Thanks, Daddy. All right, so here it is, guys. The preview, the intro to the big event New York vlog that will be coming out tomorrow, which if you guys want to see all the autographs and things I got done, that'll be on a separate video over on Best One Donnie channel. But here it is. Oh, this is what you can expect in the big event vlog. Here we go, boys.
Donnie!
But man, big fan of your work with what you've done at AEW. Hey, MJF's wife.
And there's Rosa Menendez.
Oh, Rosa, yes.
We have Cabal. I love that one.
Diego and Fernando. You're probably the only person in this crazy line here that probably has those figures. So how do you put up with Max? Yeah, there we go. That's the preview. Oh man, and by the way, Danny has not seen it because I'm the one editing this.
Yeah, I haven't seen the big event vlog yet. I'm not the one.
Who's that at the end? That's MJF's wife.
MJF's
Oh
wife,
yeah, I had an interaction with MJF's wife. That's the reason to watch the vlog.
Big Tits McGee, man.
Tits McGee. Oh yeah, you can see that in the MJF Try Not. Well, everybody that's subscribed to this channel by now, they probably already watched the Try Not to Laugh.
Yeah.
What got us on the map?
I do want to plug myself. I'm going to post my link in the channel. I will be going live tomorrow night for WWE SmackDown. If anybody would like to join, it's going to be fun. Friday night stream. I will not be live on Saturday for Full Gear. It's my daughter's birthday, so we're going to be spending time together. But after that, I'll be live
Big
again
13.
on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Yeah, it's a big 13, bro. It's still weird as fuck that I have a 13-year-old.
But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling Podcast. If you did, smash that like button now. Really helps with the algorithm. If you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast, please leave us a 5-star review, not just any review, a Best One review, and download this episode and give us a follow. If you're not following We Are Wrestling over on Instagram, X, Twitter, TikTok, go give us a follow on there for daily wrestling news, clips, all the good stuff over there. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac, you're already over on the YouTube channel where you can catch these episodes live, no paywall, live every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except today. Recommend you guys hit that subscribe button now. Turn on the post notifications. Links down in the description box below. You can go follow myself over on my social medias, and you can go check out my toy page, my nostalgia page, Best One Donnie, and you can go get yourself some merch. Link down below. Danny Huckins does live watch-alongs for the weekly shows. That's additional content you're not getting here on We Are Wrestling. So go over there. That's the best place to interact with Danny, because he likes to get off topic here, but sometimes Dan Eddy and myself, we don't allow that to happen. But if you want to get off topic with him and not talk about SmackDown, even though he's watching SmackDown, you can go over to his live watch along, link down in the description box below. Dan Eddy, all he has is Instagram on there, and he's on private. So if he likes you, he'll accept. If not, sucks to be you. We need to make that private, Dan. We need to make that public, Dan Eddy. All the links down.
Yeah, you're a public figure now, man. You can't be having a private social media. That's just weird.
I have my setup private.
People will think you're a scammer, bro.
No, I have my Instagram, so I have it on private because I still get bots trying to add me every single day almost, and I just delete it because it's like spam basically. So
what? It
Get
looks
those
good,
followers
you know?
up. It's about the clout. It's about the views. Come on.
I'm not about to. I don't post any wrestling content on there though.
We need
That's
to
why
get
it's
you
the
need to
private-
start,
my
you need to start
private one.
posting some content, Dad. Bare minimum, Eddie.
You're the
I
only-
like
you're the
that.
only- You're the only one on the podcast that's not taking advantage of the situation to really
Okay,
grow
crash
your
out,
own
Donnie.
platform,
Eh,
man.
But Dan Eddy, I told you this before, and you're not saying it. You need to be telling Daddy, look, I don't do my own content because I'm dedicated and loyal to only We Are Wrestling.
I
You
mean,
sound
that is
like a
true.
Because then I can't argue.
You
with
sound
that.
like a cult leader, bro.
All our links are down in the description box below. Also, Rage, we do hope everything does go well.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Rage,
during
man. He'll be
his
back
break.
eventually.
Shout out,
And
man.
he will
Love you,
be
dude.
back eventually. Like, he's not leaving the pod. He just has to take care of a few things. And of course, Rage, he's our brother. We love him to death, and we're always going to have his back. He's always going to be a part of the We Are Wrestling
Me,
team.
Rage, and Donnie started this thing together, man.
And when he comes back, it's going to be huge. And I cannot wait. And all you We Are Wrestling Maniacs are so understanding as well with this whole.
I don't get that.
Dan
1, 2,
Eddy
3
needs
kid
a 1, 2,
moment.
3 kid moment to shine. He did already have that 1, 2, 3 kid moment when he won the title for a couple weeks and then lost it to Rage. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.
See you
Wow,
guys.
we actually kept this thing under 3 hours. I'm impressed.
I am
Surprisingly,
impressed.
fucking